hometown. Sacramento presents a live hometown Game of the Week sports event. This program is funded in part by a grant from the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission.
Well, we have reached that time once again, and showtime is what we call it. Raising the curtain now, halfway through postseason playoffs. It's the semifinal round of action in the CIF Sac Joaquin Section Football Championships. And tonight, Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week originates at Folsom High School. We're here at Prairie City Stadium. Host Folsom's going to take on a Central Valley Ball Club that's dynamite. Central Catholic. Pleasure to be working again with the Imperator of Analysis, Hall of Famer Jim DeMito, and a lot of the folks up this way aren't familiar with Central Catholic, but after tonight they will be.
They certainly will be, because Central Catholic from Modesto, California, with only approximately 370 students, is up in the big-time Division I. And the reason why they're up in the big-time Division I is because year after year they win championships, sectional titles, and even state titles, and we'll talk to you more about that later. So CIF, the governing board of athletics, has bumped them up, and tonight they're in D1 playing the powerhouse Folsom, and you're in for a great treat.
A 1 versus a 5 seed. And the excitement has been spreading all week based on this type of a matchup. And if we examine the last outings for each of these squads, they were basically warm-up type games, Jim, with the spread quite significant on the scoreboard.
Yes, I agree with that. Not Downey, correction. Central Catholic came up, and up in the South Sacramento, Elk Grove area to play Monterey Trail. And they came up there with a goal in mind, and they accomplished that goal and didn't have much problem handling the Mustangs with a final score of 56-29. They were in control of the ball game from the start. And, of course, other than runs by Collier from Monterey Trail, Jacklich, the big running back from the Raiders, had a field night, scoring 4 touchdowns, 288 yards, and it was a long night for the Mustangs. So I'll tell you, you're going to see a big line, a big front, and, of course, the big running back.
Well, on the other side of the ledger, Sheldon High was the opponent for quarterfinal round action, a warm-up game, so to speak, for Folsom, and they dispatched them readily.
Well, the Bulldogs got off to a great start right off the get-go. They scored 14 in the first and second and third quarters, put the game out of hand. Coach Doherty was able to use his bench early, rest his troops, stay healthy for the next encounter. Mack, the quarterback, the big 6'5" quarterback, had 2 TDs and was right on with Flores and Ray. As you know, he has an array of receivers. Bulldogs ran for 202 running yards. So they had a great night. Like I said, they were able to use their 1s and 2s and subs and rest their troops ready for the next encounter, which is tonight.
And a good thing they're using their backups. I understand that there was a little spree of influenza that put some people out of action temporarily. So I think certainly it comes in handy to have that type of depth. Okay, now, impact players. At this stage of the season, both teams loaded with impact players, and we'll go ahead and start with the Raiders, and they came north to raid.
Well, they certainly did, and let's start out with their big running back, 6'2", 195-pound Tyler Jacklich. I'll tell you, he's for real. He had a huge night a week ago at Monterey Trail, 288 yards, and has a great year going with 28 touchdowns. He'll play some D occasionally, and he's a big-time threat. He has over 2,000 yards. And then quarterback, the left-hander, Wentworth. So all 6'5" of them has had a good year throwing the ball. His average receptions is 17-3, has thrown for 18 touchdowns, runs well. Trace Hernandez, watch him, number 3. Had a big year, 33 receptions, 690 yards, and he's a big-time threat. And on the other side, reviewing and joining in and giving a break at running back is Brown, Roland Brown. Watch him tonight. He's a backup running back, but he's very good, having scored 4 touchdowns. On defense, they're led by Joel Roberts. Roberts, 71 tackles, 1 sack, a 2-way starter. Jalen Nichols, 54 tackles, 1 interception. And then Chris Early. He comes early, stays late. What a pass rusher. And then, of course, Brooklyn Cheek, 31 tackles, 3 picks, a 2-way starter, and a big offensive line to go with these impact players.
You mind if I use that later? He comes early and stays late. Now, head coach Paul Doherty of the host Bulldogs, boy, has he got some star power sprinkled into his impact players, Jim, and they've done it all season long.
Well, let's start out with the All-American wide receiver and heading for Notre Dame, Rico Flores. What more can you say? 64 receptions, 963 yards, averaging 15 yards a catch, 7 touchdowns. And look out on the other side, Brian Ray. Look for him to have a big night tonight. Brian Ray having a good year, 269 yards, 4 touchdowns. And then the tight end, Norberg. Certainly being recruited by a number of schools, 39 catches, almost 500 yards, 7 touchdowns. And then running back, he doesn't get the notoriety here with this passing attack, but let me tell you that running back Donovan Maxey Parler has 595 yards, 7 touchdowns, and also is an outstanding receiver out of the backfield. Let's go to their D. Let's start with Carrillo, Greco Carrillo. 57 tackles. He is their leader. He is their leader by far. Coach Doherty says he runs that defense and makes any adjustments or changes. Diablo Washington, number 8. Watch him coming in as a pass rusher. A great pass rusher. Slade Wilson at safety, having a great year. Another one with 3 interceptions. Then linebacker Colin Denny, tied with the most tackles, 70 tackles this year, having a great year. He's tied with Joe Chavez, the other good linebacker, also has 70 tackles. And that's quite a defense. They're not known for their defense, but those insiders know that Folsom plays solid defense to go along with their potent offense.
And if we look at the scores against good opponents, you can see they've been held down or shut down all the way. Well, tonight's ball game featuring a lot of star power, great numbers, always has important keys to focus on, analyze, and act upon. And the Imperator, as usual, has isolated tonight's most important keys. You might want to remember these because they are going to come up.
Well, let's start with Central Catholic, okay? Right now, they better control the line of scrimmage and the clock. And they have the manpower up front. They've got 300-pounders, and I'll tell you, if you look at that line, they look like a college or a pro line. Run-pass combo. We know Wentworth has a great running attack, but he throws the ball. Look for play action. If Folsom starts stacking the line of scrimmage and loading the box, Wentworth can go to the air. And, of course, on defense, they better put pressure on quarterback Mack from the Bulldogs.
That's essential, Jim. They have to do that, and let's see what kind of a concerted effort they make in order to do that.
Well, that's going to be a real test. Now, Folsom, of course, can never forget how they got here. They got a ton of receivers, a solid running game, a quarterback. They've got the whole offense to go. Get the ball to these playmakers, and they have them. Flores and company, they've got receivers, Ontario Smith, etc., and a good running attack. Get the ball to them. Protect quarterback Mack. You got to protect him. If you protect him and give him time to throw, he'll rip you apart. And then control the game tempo. We know this. They can play fast or slow. Generally fast. They got a lot of team speed. They got a lot of team depth. They can hurt you in a number of ways. It's important for Central Catholic to stay in this game early and not let Folsom pull away.
Major importance there. Stay in the game early, take the lead if possible, and show their best effort. Well, that's part of the table setting we have here for you tonight at Prairie City Stadium on the campus of Folsom High. Stick around. We're going to take a little break here, and when we come back, Rick Stewart will fill in all the remaining blanks for you and get you set for the opening kickoff. Stay with us.
Baby, you see, you're so right for me, and I'm right for you. I love the things you do, like sweet tasting wine. Your lips are so divine. Your loving turns me on. My lonely days are gone. That's why I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go. Baby, never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go.
Ever hear the one about the frog? Put a frog in a pot of boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in a pot of cool water and slowly heat it up, and that frog will boil. It's alive. But as a metaphor for us and all that we go through as veterans,
Any real world experience.
it's a story that rings true. We make excuses for how we feel. We push everything down. We tell ourselves the lie that it's easier to stay in that boiling water, to disconnect. And some days, maybe, it is. But you've never been interested in easy. Reaching out is hard. Do it anyway. You're not alone. You've got this. You are not a frog.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Well, we're very pleased to have you with us this evening here at Folsom High School for tonight's presentation of the CIF Sac Joaquin Section Football Championships in this semifinal round here on Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week with the Imperator of Analysis and Rick Stewart. I'm Will James. Settle in and enjoy this one. There's going to be some action on the field you won't want to miss, and I should say miss. And we can now toss to Rick Stewart. He's got more on tonight's hot matchup. Rick?
Well, thanks, Will. You know, this is going to be an awesome night, an awesome matchup for these two teams. And let's talk about these two coaches for these two programs, these two storied programs. First of all, let's talk about Central Catholic. They're from Modesto. Now, their record says 8-4, but their coach, Roger Canepa, said that, you know, it's kind of misleading what their record really shows. But he's a coach that you can see the numbers there. I mean, that's a tremendous one-loss record on his time that he's been at Central Catholic. As far as all the titles and the CIF crowns and the state titles, that's just incredible, the kind of balance and longevity that just he has been. They've been a solid program for a long time. Now let's talk about Folsom. We've covered Folsom before, and we know all about their long history, their storied history. Paul Doherty is just keeping it going. This is his third year. You can see his record right there. And he's got a little bit less options as far as championships and that, but he has less time in than the Central Catholic coach. But the program here at Folsom is just a tremendous program. The feeder program, the freshmen and sophomores that they brought up, tremendous size. Now let's talk about these two teams and what they've done together as far as their series history. Well, there is no series history because this is the first meeting between these two. So there's no last outing. There's no series history. The series history begins right now with two storied programs and two very successful coaches here on the field tonight between Folsom and Central Catholic of Modesto. Guys, we're going to send it back to you. I'm so excited about tonight's game.
I can hear it in your voice, Stu. We got a doozy here coming up shortly. We're at Prairie City Stadium at Folsom High School. This is a semi-final round playoff matchup, and we're going to come right back and dial you in again. Stay with us. Well, if you see what appears to be a lot more people in uniform for Folsom, your eyes are not playing tricks on you. They elevated their roster by approximately 20. outstanding rendition of our Star Spangled Banner by this Folsom High School band. Yeah, there is a disparity, as you can see, along opposing sidelines tonight. The Bulldogs have 65 players suited up compared to 34 for Central Catholic. So you can easily understand the depth factor and the convenience of going to Paul Doherty's bench. But Coach Domino, depth is great, but it's not everything. And it'll take an inspired performance tonight by Central to overcome not having that luxury of the great depth.
Well, it will. We'll find out what kind of physical condition Roger Canepa's squad is. They've come on strong here in the second part of the season. They've got a veteran ball club. They've got a big front protecting Wentworth and, of course, opening big holes for Rockledge. But they'll be tested because of the tempo of the game. And we'll find out what kind of shape they're in because they have a number, not only a small squad, but a number of two-way players.
And that will show as we get into the ball game, probably somewhere near halfway. And there's our officiating crew headed by referee Jim McHugh. So Central won the toss. They deferred and kicked off to Folsom, and they've got above-average field position on the run back out to about the 33-yard line. And we'll go ahead and show you this exciting starting offense that Paul Doherty can put onto the field and that we've seen a few times already this season. Austin Mack taking over where that long string of dynamite quarterbacks has set the pace here at Folsom, and he's doing a beautiful job. 5 wide receivers, 3 left and 2 right. Quick hitch out to the left. And looks like Ontario Smith with the grab. So they have a small bite to start things. Nice way to build some momentum on first down. There's that offense we spoke of, headed by Austin Mack. Second and short upcoming. Heavy pressure. How about that? A sack on second down as they dropped Austin Mack. They lose 6 on the play. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and long, almost 10 yards needed for a first down. That was an important sack right there.
Big time sack, a lot of pressure. They're moving people around, varying up their defense here.
Short drop, he's looking long, nobody open, he has to keep it and gets back to he squirts away and runs to the original line of scrimmage and passed it for a first down.
What great effort by Mack.
It was.
Well, he was down for only maybe a yard or 2-yard gain, and suddenly he went out of the grasp of the defender, picked it up.
11 yards on that scramble to get out of trouble. And a fresh set of downs, as the Imperator says. They'll be working from their own 45. We're just underway. Played about a minute and a half here in this semifinal playoff game. Happy to have you dialed in with us. They fake it to Maxie Parler and pass incomplete on a slant. Going for Ontario Smith, as you see, number 2. That name rings a bell, doesn't it?
Well, it certainly was. His father, of course, as you know, was a great high school player at Grant High School. Went on to play at Tennessee and then on to the Minnesota Vikings.
Yes, he did. Okay, high snap, but he's got it. He's hit as he throws. Again, pressure on the passer.
Well, they're moving that line of scrimmage now. We talked about the size of the Raider front, and there's a good close-up on there, and they're pushing that line back right to the pocket. So look for Mack to get rid of the ball either early or flush the pocket.
He's getting under heavy pressure with a 3-man and now a 4-man front.
3rd and 10, big rush. Pass incomplete, bobbled on a high throw, and Mack had to unload on that. Again,
he's had to get rid of the ball under heavy pressure. They're not used to that.
No, they are not, and it brings about a probable punt here on 4th and 10. So after they get off the hook with the nice scramble, 3 and out.
Well, other than a benefit of that some broken tackles there that Mack went through, they haven't moved the ball, and they've been throwing 4 to 5 times.
Quick step up and a boot. Wow, a dangerous fielding play there by Hernandez, but he held on to it. Trace Hernandez, the top receiver on this ball club, a 30-yard punt, no return, but good field position upcoming now for the Raiders and their first time with the football.
You know, speaking of Hernandez, certainly he's had a great year as a receiver, having over 690 yards and 9 touchdowns this year. He does it all.
He left the field there. I hope that's nothing serious, like a mild injury. We'll keep an eye on that. I formation. Penalty is going to kill this play.
Yeah, well, you got it. Looks like illegal procedure.
Well, a little jittery perhaps on first down, -5, 1st and 15. Ball moved back to about the 22-yard line, so they're in a tough hole right now, and they're going to have to move the football. Their top back, number 2. He's got the pill and breaks loose around the right side. Here's a foot race. 3 players chase him. 30, 20, not tonight. That is a 78-yard touchdown run. Tyler Jackledge. Wow.
Well, I tell you, that 288 last week was no fluke.
And again, we saw in highlights the number of times that O-line opened up something huge between the tackles, and he went right into the teeth.
Well, he showed me more than power. He had a couple of moves, and he had great late speed. What a finish on the run.
It was. That secondary thought they may have caught him, but no. Here's the PAT on the way, and got it at 10:06 early here in the first. Early shock treatment by Central Catholic, and here's why. He broke that tackle, and that is a breakaway. 78. We'll be right back for more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
When fog, fats, oils, and grease get put down the drain, it can harden and create massive problems in our sewers. Fog can cause sewer backups, clogs, and can be a headache to clean out. Some sources of fog include items like meat, salad dressing, milk, butter, and creamy or oily sauces. Don't let fog get down the drain by doing 3 simple things. Can it, scrape it, and trash it to keep your pipes flowing. Learn more at sacsewer.com.
About the 39-yard line. That was well done. A 17-yard return on that. So good field position upcoming now, and if they weren't already, I would say Folsom's got a wake-up call there.
They certainly have. They know they're in the ball game here. They were under heavy pressure in the first series, the second series, and then boom, comes the quick opener with great blocking, big hole, and a big run by Jackledge.
Okay, hitch pass left side complete. A lead blocks, brings him outside for more, and he crosses midfield and reaches the central 45 or so. Maxie Parler on the reception. Considered a lateral. pass was backward by a slight measure, but well handled. Well, they wanted to go no huddle there, but they're going to have to wait. Well, you can see that Mac wants to get rid of the ball quicker.
Definitely. Definitely after that first series where he was under heavy pressure.
Okay, wants to throw under duress, running away, and fires out of bounds. Wow, where was Flores on that play? He was obscured by that Folsom bench.
He certainly was. Give credit to Mac flushing that pocket,
Absolutely.
having to throw off his back foot, etc.
A 15-yard aerial connection, Mac to Flores, who must have run a tremendous route there. 1st and 10, 9.5 to go, still early first. They run left and get a couple to the 30.
Well, you look at that front, Central Catholic front, Troy Leota, Anthony Jimenez, Roman Fume putting pressure. There's number 58, and I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to pay for his meals. Roman Fume.
No, that is a sizable line, and they're tough as nails. 2nd and 9. Football Park just about right at the Central 30. They're down. Folsom down 7-0 here early in the first. Pass to the left, off target behind the intended receiver.
Well, it appeared again like Mac was rushing the ball.
Secondary coverage that time. Jaden Nichols, tough defender.
3rd and long here. Let's see what we do. Of course, field position that they're in, they're not likely, even if they don't get the first down here, certainly they're not going to punt with the ball on the 30-yard line.
He wants to pass, has good protection this time, throws low, and Ray able to get underneath it nicely and scoop that for a reception.
Well, we talked about that on our pregame, that Brian Ray is going to play a role here tonight.
They're shy of a first. They need to make the 20. 4th and about 3 after a 4-yard pickup on that throw. Nicely handled by Ray.
He's got a lot of cushion on the wide side. He's trip set with a lot of cushion.
Lots of indecisiveness and a timeout taken, called by Folsom. We'll step back ourselves. Don't wander off. More to come on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Big play coming up here for host Folsom. They're down 7 here to Central Catholic. This game warmed up fast. Pass out to the right side, just enough for the first down. Ontario Smith has been a busy receiver. They've already called his number at least 3 times here in the early going. Brooklyn Cheek in on the coverage. Good two-way starter for the Raiders. First down, 4 wide receivers going out. Over the middle, they go short, and it's a good hookup to about the 15-yard line. And they're taking what's given to them.
Definitely. They're getting Central Catholic defense is giving them everything underneath. Their linebackers are taking about a 10, 12-yard drop, and so Mac, as you mentioned, will take what they give you. They're giving it at 5, 6, 7-yard routes.
Ontario Smith, 3 grabs for 16 yards, a little nibble here and there. Big rush this time. He gets it off. And to the 10.
Brought down by number 11, Tyler Wentworth.
So
3 on the play.
Mac is
third and 2 for your Bulldogs.
getting more comfortable with that quick release.
Yes, they did. They
gain of 3.
They went to Carrillo, who doubles up. He's a defensive captain and doubles up as a receiver.
3rd and 2 upcoming. Maxi Parler does turn the corner, slips away, and makes the 5.
Parler on the carry, brought down to the 5-yard line. Good enough for a Bulldog first down.
Well, that's a great move. He bounced it outside. It looked like he was trapped by the D, but that was a great move on his part. Moving the chains, nice run.
Nice play calling to mix and match. There he is there. There's the partially broken tackle and the lunge. Okay, deep in the red zone. Look left and fire out there at the goal line. Touchdown Bulldogs. Ontario Smith with the catch.
Mac to Smith for 4 yards on the pitch and catch.
Well, that was a nicely engineered drive. Nothing grandiose about it. They, as you say, Imperator, took what was given, and they wound up in the end zone.
They certainly did. They concentrated on the short passing game, not needing much time to throw, and certainly.
And a replay at the goal line, just enough. And the Bulldogs tie it up. We'll be right back for more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter which you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Okay, Folsom Bulldogs have tied this one up, ready to kick off now. And let's see what this Central Catholic offense can do with their second possession. That first one was pretty fast.
It was very fast, but the Bulldogs responded. They're not used to being behind. Most of the time they're ahead in the ball game. It's very few times that they experience having to come from behind, but give them credit. They responded.
This is going to be returned from like the 1-yard line, perhaps ill-advised. He's dropped near the 15-yard line. And they're in a tough hole right now.
Well, they are. They're deep in their territory with Hernandez's return. Well, give Mac credit. He went 6 for 7 on that drive for 38 yards. And they went 60 yards in 10 plays and 4:22 in 4 minutes and 22 seconds. So that was a nice possession for the Bulldogs.
And they took advantage of good field position after the kickoff to.
They certainly did.
That'd be a shorter drive. Okay, so 5:38 left, flip side of quarter number 1. We're deadlocked at 7 apiece. Things warming up here on a cold night in Folsom. And the sweep right is not going to work. A loss on the play. And they had his number on that one.
Well, they were all over him. They certainly learned the hard way early in this ball game, and I'm sure that you're going to see the normal defense, perhaps plus a spy playing one-on-one with him as well as the normal D.
After what we've seen him do, I think a spy would be good. Okay. They got their traditional eye going. And the southpaw wants to fire, and Hernandez had it, dropped it. That was going to be way more than enough for a first down. He's their most experienced and reliable receiver.
And the pass was right on the money. I'll tell you, Wentworth will put the ball right there.
2nd and 10. Let's see if they can shake it off. 3rd and 10. Is this where you'd be inclined to go right back to him and get his confidence back up with a catch?
Well, might this time go to the wide side.
Okay.
They're playing him, giving him quite a cushion there, giving him a 9-yard cushion here on the wide side.
They show the motion in the backfield. And the draw looks open to me. Turn the corner and go. I swear he is very instinctively intuitive and excellent in his decision-making. The way,
boy, when he bounced that play outside, and he also kept his free hand, 19-yard run, beautiful run. I love his vision he has.
He was excellent on that play. It gets them out of a hole. Well, he ran right over the safety who came up on that, so it's a first down as they're nearing midfield at their own 41.
Looked like encroachment.
Well, you can still see him all the way, Coach. Okay, make it 1st and 5. We talked about penalties and other factors. We'll see how things continue to shake out. That one was smelled out nice by the defense there.
It was. That could be the spy on him because he was totally unblocked, and it looked like he was keying him for sure.
Got a score for you, courtesy of Bimmer here. 14-0, Oak Ridge leading Turlock here in the first. And we saw that outstanding Oak Ridge Ball Club a couple of times, including a week ago, and they're still on a roll.
Well, they are, and they would love to take care of business and get another shot here, perhaps at the winner of this football game.
Yes, they would like to have a shot. Casey Taylor and company. Roll, throw on the run. That's his favorite way to do it. He's completed, and for a big gainer, a broken tackle at the 15. Touchdown Raiders. Oh my goodness, Zavala, a big tight end at 6'4" and 2+, 59 yards, and shoddy tackling in the secondary.
Well, you're not going to tackle Zavala or Racklich with arm tackling. No way. You're just not going to do it. You better wrap up and get help.
Especially the help part.
That's a big tight end.
52 yards on the scoring connection, and they'll try for the PAT, and this game is really warming up. It's no good, wide left. Okay, a special team flaw, but still another look at this touchdown on a catch and run with power. Zavala, step for step, went right through that double team.
Well, I'll tell you, and I know he was wide open, but I'm impressed also with Wentworth.
Our son Arjun was born with cystic fibrosis, a rare disease that shortens lives. But there's something you can do to help. Join us as we walk in great strides, the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation's National Walk. Every year, thousands of people lace up to raise money and awareness for CF. The CF Foundation has made amazing progress, but we're not done yet. The biggest reason I strive? Because I want Arjun to live a full and happy life. Visit CFF.org and sign up for our Great Strides Walk today. Lace up, walk, cure cystic fibrosis.
(13-7) as Central is on the scoreboard again. A pair of long touchdowns, 67 and 52. And the ensuing kickoff. Bouncing at the 15 and fielded. Flores trying to get outside and gets a little bit.
Flores fields at the 10-yard line.
So average field position upcoming. Now this is 2 occasions in about 8 minutes where they've fallen behind.
Bulldogs take over first and 10 with all 3 left to play here in the first quarter.
(13-7) and Folsom playing catch up again. Mack has time. Now he's rushed, gets away, and steps out. Awfully close to another sack.
Awesome, Mack keeps it himself.
One of your keys has showed up big time now with 5 plays where he's been pressured tremendously.
And that's what they have to do. They certainly can't give Mack the time to throw with the receivers he has. Certainly they got to continue to put heat on him. And, of course, conversely, Mack has got to get the ball out early and go again to the short passing game.
Short drop, fire, complete. Flores with the catch. So they're having to go nickel and dime.
Yes, very definitely.
Okay. 2:55 clock rolling late first. 13-7 Central Catholic on top. And this is a semifinal playoff game. Division I style. Long count that time. Boom! Flores just got woke up at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, between Hernandez and Cheek, they went cheek to cheek with him, putting him down.
Hernandez on the tackle for the Raiders.
You're going to see hard contact here, but Flores able to hold on to it and get the first down.
Very athletic in that secondary, Will.
2:13, late first. Mack wanted to wind up, and he cannot because he's sacked again. Zavala, heavy pressure. Mario Zavala shining on offense and defense. Loss of 7.
Well, in a big game like this, Coach Canepa is playing all his guys. And if it means playing 2 ways, that's the way it is. And I don't blame him one bit. This is a big game, big opportunity to knock off one of the state's top ball clubs.
Well, they're off to a good start to reach that goal. Up 13-7. And whistles are going to stop this play with just 1:20 left.
Timeout taken by the Bulldogs.
Quarter.
First second of the first half.
Folsom takes a timeout. We will too. Stay with us. Lots more to come. Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Our son Arjun was born with cystic fibrosis, a rare disease that shortens lives. But there's something you can do to help. Join us as we walk in great strides, the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation's National Walk. Every year, thousands of people lace up to raise money and awareness for CF. The CF Foundation has made amazing progress, but we're not done yet. The biggest reason I strive? Because I want Arjun to live a full and happy life. Visit CFF.org and sign up for a Great Strides Walk today. Lace up, walk, cure cystic fibrosis.
.120 left here in the first, and it has been an exciting opening quarter here at Folsom High School in this semifinal playoff game. Another score, Rockland and Manteca locked up 7-7. Christian Brothers up 7 on Wood Creek. Thank you, Rob. Throw right, complete to Flores, and speed through the defense. He's off to the races. One man back, and he's dropped inside the 5.
67 yards on the pitch and catch.
Nice move on the cutback, but terrific chasing speed to run that down.
Yeah, Hernandez was one of them. That 68-yard play.
Here's another look.
Central Catholic Raider on the play.
Nice block. Nice cuts.
Number 3,
and the
Trace
foot
Hernandez.
race
Being tended to by
belongs to
Raiders
Hernandez.
staff and training staff.
Generally, we see Flores with long touchdowns, the ball in the air most of the way when he's deep behind the secondary. That was a...
Well, he showed moves there. He showed the athlete that he is. With great moves, decent speed, Hernandez and Brown ran him down. But I'll tell you, that's a great play by Flores. Yards after contact.
Well, we're sorry to see the injury here. A fallen Raider in the end zone. He's being helped up, and it's Hernandez.
I think he came into this game a little banged up, and, he caught him from behind.
Hernandez back up.
That was
on
a
2
hard
feet.
fall.
Walking back from the sideline with the assistance of the trainers.
Let's take another look, Jim, and we can maybe see if he landed awkwardly, because that was a hard fall for everybody.
Yes, he did, but I look for him. He's the type of athlete, unless it's more serious than I think here, he will play until you make him sit down.
Here's the quick hitch. Good block. Here comes Hernandez. He had to hold up there a little bit and slowed down.
Oh, he dragged his knees and bounced around a little bit there. I think he's going to be all right. I think he can feel it.
Nice replay, guys. Okay, deep in the red zone are the Bulldogs. They're down 6 with 1:04 to go here in the first. Run play at the goal line. Shove back. Maxi Parler.
Maxi Parler brought down just shy of the goal
Close.
line.
But no cigar on this one.
Jalen Nichols in the tackle for the Raiders. Second and goal Bulldogs from the 1-yard line.
These defenders hit hard.
Well, they do. I'm really impressed with Brooklyn Cheek here, coming up from the secondary. Good cover defensive back, but a good hard hitter coming up.
Clock rolling, 30 seconds to go. Flores works right and skips into the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. From just a couple yards out. So we are tied again. And the Bulldogs a chance to get on top for the first time this evening.
Very impressive. You can see why he was a national recruit. He can catch the football, he can run, he can return kickoff, punts, etc. There aren't too many things that Enrico Flores cannot do.
Well, he's an exceptional player. Now the important PAT, boot way. Got it. At 24 seconds of the first, Folsom takes the lead on the touchdown and point after. Here's how he did it. Stop and go. Nice zigzag. And a touch over. Well, he loves the accolades. And that has given Folsom a 1-point lead. And the happiest this home crowd has been so far this evening.
Well, they certainly responded again, and now they take the lead. A nice 7-play, 76 yards, a little over 3 minutes on the clock. A nice drive. They mixed it up. They're getting better pass protection on Mack, and certainly this is important. And they're going to have to change up that defense a little bit, because I can tell you they're getting the ball into their playmakers' hands, and that's what Folsom does.
Okay, here's the kickoff. Into the end zone for a touchback.
With 24 seconds
It'll come out to the 20, and average field position upcoming for this potent Raiders offense that has 2 touchdowns on the board, and they were not short ones. 67 and 52. One on a run, the other a catch and run.
Well, again, we said this was going to be a high-scoring ball game. That was our early assessment, and thus far, there are things here. We are with certainly with 27 points scored in here, just in that first quarter total.
They run right, and it's strung out, and he gets away for
Jacklich on the carry.
Remarkable carry by Jacklich.
Well, he's got great lateral. He's got great lateral movement. He bounces outside very nicely.
Denny finally brings him down. 2nd and 5, Raiders upcoming.
Well, they got 5 on that when there was
like
no
that,
way.
The first quarter expires here.
We've played one here at Prairie City Stadium in this semifinal playoff game. Check at the scoreboard. Folsom up 1 on tough Central Catholic 14-13. And let's bounce it to Rick Stewart. He's got something going on. Rick?
Thanks, guys. It's always a pleasure to talk with Howard Cadenhead, the principal here at Folsom. What's it been like on campus this week?
Oh, it's been a good week. Kids are excited for a break finally, first of all and foremost, but it's a time of the year when we have a ton going on. We have our musical going on right now, Footloose. We've got basketball starting, wrestling, soccer. There's a ton going on. Jazz concerts tonight and playoff football, right?
Well, it's been so long since we've had a chance to talk, Howard, that you just filled up the whole time period, and it's great to be back here at Folsom with you guys once in a while. Not often enough, but it's great to be here.
Well, we love having you guys, right? We love the atmosphere and playoff football. It's something we've become very blessed to be accustomed to, right? And have great kids and high expectations, so we love having you.
All right. Well, guys, we're going to send it back up to you. I'm here with Howard Cadenhead here at the first quarter.
All right, Rick, thank you very much. Always a pleasure to see Howard. And we always enjoy our visit here to Folsom High and Prairie City Stadium. So, down 1 are the Raiders. And they'll open shop outside their 25. First play from scrimmage here in the second quarter.
Yeah, we got an encroachment again. And by the way, that 1st and 10, Folsom lined up with a 5-man front. And
their penalty result is a first down.
I think they want to definitely put them in the 2nd and long. So let's see if one of these times Wentworth may play action and come out with a pass on 1st and 10.
Well, that D-line over anxious. And understandably so.
Spotted at the 31-yard line. 1st and 10 Raiders.
So the junior QB is southpaw, standing at about 6'4", has a good look at the defense. He's slick with the ball and throws deep down the middle of the field.
Pass ball's incomplete. Hernandez, the intended receiver. R.J. Whitten on the coverage.
So we're happy to see Hernandez back in the game. Running without much difficulty, it looks like, but incomplete on the long throw.
He appears to me, where I've noticed athletes of his type who will get banged around, but they'll bend but won't fold.
So, 2nd and 10. Nice throw.
Nice
by that junior quarterback.
Should still have 5 because they picked up 5 on the penalty.
They run the football and get just a couple.
On the carry.
Jacklich Tough to bring down in the crowd.
Indiana, Washington.
Now Washington holding his right arm and wrist. Number 8 took the brunt on that. He just felt ejaculation in his hard hitting.
He certainly has.
Spot at the 34-yard line. 3rd and 7 upcoming for Central Catholic.
.11 clock rolling, early second, a tight one here. Folsom up 1. Roll, look, throw on the run.
Pass falls incomplete.
Incomplete.
Brooklyn Cheek, the intended receiver. R.J. Wade and Slade Wilson on the coverage. Brings up 4th and 7.
Another update for you. Granite Bay and Del Oro in the second. Joe Catalico and Granite Bay up 14-3.
As we said several weeks ago, they could be, at that time, they're 8-4, but could be the best 7-4 team in town.
I'd say so.
Well, his receiver was open there. Wentworth looked like he overled him outside. He did have an open receiver. And they've got a press going on. Man-to-man press on top of your screen. Have a look at it, one-on-one.
I don't think they're going to. Okay. Wow. It was blocked. Punt was blocked, and it's going to trickle to about the 40. Well, that was the second special team mistake by the Raiders. A missed PAT and now a blocked punt.
Well, we felt that kicking game was a factor in this football game, and we've seen some of it already.
That took a long time to develop. Nice defense there by the Bulldogs special team defending the punt. So terrific field position and a prime opportunity here for Folsom to push up their 1-point lead.
Very short field, 39-yard field.
Look right, look left, fire left.
Well, he's got receivers open. As you can see, Flores was wide open in the middle. He's getting time to throw, and the secondary is playing a little too soft here.
So another look. He had plenty of time that time. A gain of 18 yards on this hookup. Well, the Raiders want timeout, and we'll do that ourselves now. Don't go away. It's happening right here on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Long ago, in a household far away, a sink lived in harmony. All of a sudden, the fog attacked. Fats, oils, and greases, such as meats and sauces, can cause massive clogs in the sewer system. The sink was defenseless, until a fearless hero saved the day through proper disposal. By canning oils, scraping greases, and trashing food scraps, the household was saved. And through proper disposal, you too can save your sink. For more information, go to sacsewer.com.
Okay, the Raiders on the hook a little bit here with some bad field position. Folsom pressing him now. Pass to the left sideline. Flores has another grab. I believe it's his third of the game.
Gain of 6 on the play. Spot at the 14-yard line.
I'll tell you, Mack is on a run. It's not just the Bulldog attack, it's the Mack attack. He's completed a number of passes here, and we're early in the second quarter.
Okay, fire left again.
Pass again,
again, Flores the receiver.
12 completions in a row for Mack, and it didn't take long. They've dominated time of possession thus far. The first quarter, 19 to 241. So Folsom has had the football in their hands a majority of this ball game thus far.
And they've been stung for 2 touchdowns. So let's see if their defense can hold. Folsom can get on top a bit better here with a score. Fire on a slant. He's got a man to the goal line. Shoved back.
Yeah, I thought
Ray again.
He's just sitting back and throwing now. There's no pressure. That's a quick slant in there. I thought he had broke the plane, but it was close.
Well, they're lined up right on the goal line. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
Well, Woodson made that look easy. A huge hole, Will. Huge.
Yeah, that offensive line really opened up a gigantic hole. So, after getting smacked around a little bit in that first quarter, Folsom has settled down. Their defense has tightened up, for one thing. And Mack and company have driven the football methodically for long drives and time-consuming scores. PAT on the way and got it. Let's take another look at the touchdown. Standing up, made it look easy. We'll be back for more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Well, the home fans here are feeling a lot better about this ball game as the scoreboard has changed dramatically. After trailing twice in this game, Folsom's back on top, leading at 21-13 and kicking off here. Not much of a run back. Brown makes the 29 or so.
At the 24-yard line where Central Catholic takes over, 1st and 10.
Say at the 24. And we'll see what the Raiders can do after being stung here a couple times.
Well, the Raiders have got to respond here. I know we have 9:22 remaining in this quarter, a lot of time to the half. But Folsom in the last 3 possessions has looked good and solid. They're protecting Mack. The receivers are wide open. They're getting yards after the catch. This looks like Folsom football now, and their defense is waking up.
Well, Jack Leach, nowhere to go on that. And he got dropped hard. He's going to bring up, they're going to need about 8 for a first down. On the previous play, it looked like Roland Brown came off with some kind of an arm injury. We'll keep an eye on that. Turn and fake, he rolls, rushed hard. He's got a completion. Lots of running room out there, and a nice way to get off the hook.
Well, he went to his fullback Roberts, who's wide open coming out of the backfield, and he's got to go more to his running backs. And nice move. That's one of their favorite plays.
26 yards on the catch and run. And he stood in there nice with 2 defenders on him.
Yes, he did. He held his composure.
.39 left. We're still early here in the second. Nice to have you with us here. Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. They run straight ahead and get nothing.
Jack Leach on the carry. Instantly, 56, Lucas Hardiman.
Well, they're mixing it up here. Give credit to the Folsom D up front. Goulet, Hardiman, Mixon, and Washington. Watch Hardiman and Goulet inside. Hardiman having a big night thus far.
Well, there's a good close-up on Jackledge, who rushed for better than 2,000 yards coming into this game. And he's broke one long one so far. It's about time for Zavala, isn't it?
Yes, I think there's a timeout because they would have been undue delay of ball game. They would have been penalized. That was a smart move for coach to bring them over.
Well, let's keep it right here and examine what we've got here. A 2nd and 9. They're near midfield after the 26-yard run got him off the hook. Still not even halfway through this quarter. What's the call now?
Well, he's got to mix it up on early downs. And as you say, a lot of time to go. They cannot panic. They're only one touchdown behind. They can't worry about the differential of 8 points. All they can do now is put together a drive and respond. This is a confidence builder here to respond to the last touchdown and not give the ball back to Folsom with an opportunity to score a 4th touchdown. So he's got to mix it up and not wait till 3rd down.
Well, Tyler Wentworth, quarterback number 11, looks very confident right now for a junior quarterback.
He does. I like his composure. Left-hander, good arm, good mobility.
Well, penalty marker thrown. We'll see about it. Little mini conference among our officiating crew. They pick up the marker. No penalty. You know, that's great to see every now and then.
Well, I think, certainly no crew is perfect. And it's nice that, hey, if that's an inadvertent flag, we'll correct it.
Well, the shift evidently confused the officials on that play, but they corrected the situation. Turn and give. Boy, look at that pile shove forward. Ho! Amazing. Oh, now, wait a minute. There's a penalty.
Yes, they gave that ball to fullback Joel Roberts, and that line surged ahead, and then we had a penalty right at the end. It's unnecessary. The officials are blowing the whistle.
Ball, personal foul, defense, 1st down.
17 yards plus tack on 15 more for the penalty. That's a nice gain.
Well, it certainly is, and Joel Roberts, who starts both ways, the big blocking fullback, number 21, was carrying people with him.
And we spoke of composure for Wentworth, but I didn't see any composure there for Folsom.
Absolutely not.
Turn and give, Roberts again, and he's got momentum to about the 17-yard line before being shoved back. So the momentum is shifted again, Coach.
Yes, it is, and once again, the Raiders are doing what they do well, and that is move the line of scrimmage, control the football, and they're, like I said, they're only 8 points behind this ball game. They can still play their game and not abandon their game plan.
Gain of 2, make it 2nd and 8. Wentworth brings in a play from the sideline. We'll see what's on their mind. They play fake. He rolls. Trouble. And stays on his feet before being thrown out of bounds.
Yeah, he's going to take a loss there. He was looking primarily at one receiver. He's got to start using the middle of the field a little bit because everything he's throwing is to the sideline.
They lose 5 on the play. Credit the Folsom secondary coverage. Here's another look. Now, he had plenty of time.
Now, he had 21 open early, but he didn't hit him early like he did before. And good pursuit, team pursuit there, particularly by that front of the Folsom Bulldog line.
Wentworth is tough to bring down.
Yes, he is. He's 6'5", a young junior.
So big play coming up, but it will be halted.
Unfortunately, we're getting some errors here and mistakes on the part of the Raider offense.
Good ball. False start. Offense.
False start the ball against Central Catholic. 5-yard penalty.
Okay, second 5-yard penalty. 3 penalties. Let's see, we've got the ball spotted at the 28-yard line. 3rd and 18. They run right and cut back. That was a real shot there on that tackle.
Short gain on the play.
Hernandez got walloped on that.
Brings up 4th and long for Central Catholic.
Well, I still think they'll go for it during 4-down territory, no question about it. And maybe out of field goal range. I'm not certain if they're within that. I think that you'll see them go. They've got a long 11, 12 yards to go for first down. And let's see what Wentworth comes up with. You know, he's been rolling to his left side and not to the right. Notice he does roll left, and he is a left-hander.
In watching the highlights of other games, he showed that a lot. That's the last timeout now here in the first half for Central. It comes at the 4:53, flips out of quarter number 2. And at an important time, they are still within striking distance here.
Well, they also haven't taken anything off pressure off Wentworth by possibly running some screens, etc., or draw plays, screens or draws. Now, this is a long way to go, 4th and 13.
Well, we got some updates on the scoreboard. Oak Ridge 17 zip over Turlock in the second. And Manteca's come back. They're within a point in the second, trailing Rockland 14-13.
Stepping on giving it down by wide feet and that.
And Wood Creek has surged ahead of Christian Brothers after trailing 7-0. They're up 14-7.
Wood Creek has been a Cinderella team in the playoffs. They certainly have. They've come on the end of the season pretty strong.
It was as if that underwhelming performance against Inderkum really turned things around for them.
Certainly did.
Here's the play, the big play. Good protection this time, but it rushed, grabbed, and he throws the football away. Well, penalty marker. Let's see here. Good defensive stand. And the ball's going to go over.
Not a good decision.
Intentional grounding.
Not a good decision by Wentworth, quarterback Wentworth, under heavy pressure.
Illegal forward pass, intentional grounding. Against the offense. Loss of down. First down.
Okay, let's take another look. He had time here for a moment. Nobody open to avert the sack. He unloaded, but in the grasp, and tough luck there. So that defensive effort by Folsom was impressive.
Very impressive.
Bulldogs take over 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
4:47 left here in the first half. Good field position at the 40 for the Bulldogs. Incomplete over
Rico
Flores.
To the receiver, Jalen Nichols on the coverage.
Well, in that last series, Golwich was certainly impressive. Number 65, watch him when they go to defense again. Elijah Gulwich, number 65, with a lot of pressure on Wentworth.
Wow, he looked at him all the way and still missed him high. Second down, not that time, and he cannot quite get away, but a good effort.
Flores. Brought down the 49-yard line.
Close to midfield.
First down.
He's a little slow getting up.
Jalen Nichols on the cover and the tackle from Central Catholic.
First down, Folsom. 4.5 to go. Ontario Smith checks in. Now a little mix-up on the formation.
Well, it's totally different than the first series. The first two series, there was a great deal of pressure. No pressure on Mack right now.
Another hitter on the right side, cutting through traffic and getting into territory of the Raiders.
Well, Mack on a roll because he's getting all day to throw, and certainly if this pressure doesn't pick it up, Mack has carte blanche on his receivers. They're wide open. They're running great routes. Again, pressure's on that defense.
He's flushed and he's got running room to the outside. Tripped up and dropped, but a nice gain.
Picks up the first down, brought down to the 35-yard line. Ball officially spotted at the 34. First down, Bulldogs.
9 yards on that scramble. And he didn't see anybody open here. He kept it and saw where the daylight was. A little shake and bake.
Yeah, well, right now that Central Catholic defense looks awful tired.
Look at that quick opener. Wow. Almost all the way for the score. Ray making a presence in tonight's game with at least 3 or 4 grabs.
Well, we stated that during the week. We felt he'd be coming through with big plays, and he has tonight.
That was good for 23 big yards and almost for 6, but it's going to be wiped out. Illegal receiver downfield to negate that catch and run. That could be a difficult penalty to call.
Well, it is, and once again, if you keep your eyes on that front, it appears like that defensive front, Leota, Formé, and Jimenez appear to be very tired here in the second quarter. And thus, the block, not only the protection is good, but Mack, as we've said, plenty of time to throw the football. Receivers are open, and he's on a real strong run.
1 timeout left for the Bulldogs. They're on top 21-13 here. 2:40 to go, late second. They blitz. Flushed out of there, and he's going to keep it. Sidesteps a tackler and lunges forward for a big gain. Well, that's where he could really hurt you.
Well, if you watch the blocking up front,
brings up 2nd and 4 for the Bulldogs.
Where the early pressure got to Mack, he certainly has a considerable amount of time to throw, and if given this kind of time, Folsom's going to put quite a few points on the board tonight.
That's an 11-yard pickup there. They rush him hard again, and he fires. That was a very nice grab right there. Outstanding reception on a real bullet.
Yes, he did.
Reception. Ball spotted at the 21-yard line.
Danny Chavez wide open. Mason Norberg at 18, check that out. Correction, tight end Norberg.
Veteran tight end. Here's another look. He extended himself on that. Nice job, nice hands. Hernandez with the coverage. 1:40 to go. Clock rolling, late second. They run the football, and it's not going very far. Wow.
On the carry. Man in the backfield, Roman Pumai, number 58 of the Raiders.
Trey Leota all of 300 plus pounds. You're not going to get away from him.
Loss of 3 on the play. That was a no-win situation. There he is. Now that's a presence right there.
346.
Minute 5. Clock rolling. Ray anxious to get off the line of scrimmage. He's flushed again, but he's got room to work. And he's going to skip out of bounds to stop the clock.
Boston Matt keeps it himself.
At 49.
Keeps the drive alive.
He's a pretty cool cat.
Well, this is a big series for Folsom and for Central Catholic. Central Catholic wants to stay in this football game and not give up a score here with only 49 seconds remaining in the first half. Folsom would like to put one more on them and now go to the half 2 TDs ahead. So big series here.
Well, if they do sputter, they can always go for a field goal. Meantime, Mack fires complete near the 10-yard line and out of bounds. Ray again with the reception.
Inside the 10-yard line.
Once again, receiver Ray having a big night. Brian Ray.
Okay, so Folsom calls timeout, and we're going to keep it right here. Now, with 36 seconds, they're assured, unless a turnover occurs, they got at least time for 2 good plays, maybe more. But
well, the insurance is the field goal bite for me, and certainly they do not want to go in the red zone here and not come away with some points. So we'll see what happens here. There's plenty of time. That could be their final timeout.
They are out of timeouts now, so they'll either have to work the sideline or get themselves into the end zone. Of course, as you said, the Raiders can't afford to give anything here.
If the ball is live, look for Folsom to come to the line of scrimmage and not huddle. And they'll have coaches giving them 2 plays right now. If this one's not successful, he has a play to go to right now.
Lots of beef up front. Mack looking over the defense, looks left and fires. Incomplete.
Pass fires incomplete. Brian Ray, the intended receiver.
Plenty of time on the clock, 34 seconds and 2nd and 8. Even without timeouts, there's not a problem. He can also spike the ball if he has to, if they don't get out of bounds. So Folsom trying to get on the boards with another touchdown here.
Touchdown Bulldogs, and Ray's got the pill. Well, you figured it would be his big night, and there it is. 8 yards on the connection from Austin Mack to big-time Brian Ray. And they get the TD and put some insurance on the scoreboard, now leading at 27-13.
When you wake up in the morning, and when you walk off, girl, you know you wanna flaunt it.
Snap, spot, boot, and got it. And another look at the TD connection. Bingo on the slant. And Folsom is rolling right now, coming from behind, now to stretch out their lead. We'll be right back.
Have you ever seen a cockroach around your house? Cockroaches are now invading houses for shelter from the heat. Ways to combat roaches are to eliminate potential food, water, and shelter sources. Seal cracks and crevices around your home. Remove trash daily and keep lids closed on outdoor cans. Call a pest control company if cockroaches are in or around your house. Call your local stormwater utility if they are around storm drains. And call Sac Sewer if you see them around sewer manholes. Learn more at sacsewer.com.
Well, an impressive drive started by their defensive stand and then cashed in by a rather prolific offense engineered by Austin Mack. Here's the ensuing kickoff. 30 seconds left in the half. And the Raiders' run back is stalled and covered. Shy of the 20.
Logan Hutton on the tackle.
Excellent downfield coverage.
Roland Brown on the return.
And I've heard that name Hutton before.
Yeah, you heard it.
In the first half.
Logan Hutton. Well, Brown is a tough customer. Roland Brown. Well, looks like a little disgruntled faces along that Raiders sideline.
Great drive by Folsom, 11 plays, 61 yards, 427, cashing in on 7 more to the half.
Run play across the 20.
Joe Roberts on the carry.
Roberts.
Gain of 6 on the play.
You know, I really like their rotation of backs.
Yes, well, Roberts normally does most of the blocking for Rockledge, but tonight he's getting some carries and he's running hard.
We have played one half in tonight's Division I semifinal, and Folsom has come up off the deck, trailing twice in the first quarter, but now holding 28-13 lead. And they've flipped things around here on their home field, and the home fans are really loving that comeback. I believe we'll be joining Rick Stewart shortly for additional interviews in tonight's game.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. If you could see you through my eyes instead of your ego, I believe you'd be surprised to see that you've been blind. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Okay, time to join Rick Stewart. What you got, buddy?
Got Paul Doherty here with me, Folsom coach. Coach, that last touchdown in the first half, how big was that?
Huge. You know, with a team like this, as physical as they are defensively, as physical as they are offensively, trying to keep a cushion, a 2-score game, to try to keep the pace of the game. I feel like this is a game of momentum. If they control the momentum, clock, holding the ball, running it, we could be in trouble. So having an extra lead there, especially with them getting the ball at the half, is a big deal.
How much should we be afraid that Jack Litch really hasn't done that much other than the 1 carry?
Say that one again?
How much should we be afraid that Jack Litch hasn't really done that much other than the 1 carry?
And you should be really afraid of him. They're going to keep giving it to him. He's dang good.
Well, your defense is stopping him, though.
They are. They're playing really well. Coach
All right.
Cole's got him going.
All right, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Be healthy. All right, Coach. All right, Will, we'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Rick. Well, certainly, Imperator, Paul Doherty, very grateful to receive that touchdown. And it changes the entire complexion on the halftime discussion and what the Raiders can do now in a comeback mode on the road.
Well, the pressure will be on them in the second half and how they respond in the third quarter, because they're primarily a run football team, and that kind of taking that away from them, other than that big early run by Rockledge, and then that pass to Savala, the big tight end. After that, the Folsom defense is surfaced.
Well, let's spin it back to Rick. You got something else for us, buddy?
Hey, this is a wonderful night for me, especially. I've got Troy Taylor here with Sacramento State head football coach. Troy, coming back home.
Oh, it's been fun. Great football team, two great teams, and a beautiful night, and it's just good to get out here.
Well, it's good to see you first and foremost, and it's also good to see Sac State, I won't say rebounding, but stepping forward and stepping up. Number 1 FCS. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we got unbelievable coaching staff, a bunch of guys that coached at Folsom at one time, and some really good players, and they just bought into what we're doing, and we're having a great time.
For quite a while, we didn't seem to really push for local players, but why has that turned around, and what's been the key to that?
Well, there's great high school football. Nobody knows it better than you, and really great coaching here. So for us, we knew that if we could come in and keep a lot of the local kids around, just going to school at Sac State, that we'd have a chance. So that's been a huge part of our success, is just keeping some of the young talent in the area at Sacramento State.
How big is the Causeway Classic coming up?
It's big. We're playing Davis, obviously, the Causeway. They're a very good football team. They've won 5 in a row, very well coached, and it's going to be a great game.
Any big keys here for you going forward?
Well, as far as the game tomorrow, they got a really good back, and they've been scoring a ton of points. So keeping the ball in front of us and gang tackling them, it's going to be a big part of it.
All right, Coach Taylor, it's a pleasure to talk with you anytime we get a chance, whether it was on the high school level or now. Pleasure to talk with you. Stick around and have a good year.
Thank you very much.
All right. Yeah, best luck in the playoffs. Okay, we're going to send it out here, 28-13, Folsom in the lead. We'll be right back.
Baby, you see, you're so right for me, and I am right for you. I love the things you do, like sweet tasting wine. Your lips are so divine. Your loving turns me on. My lonely days are gone. That's why I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, never gonna let you go. Baby, never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ever hear the one about the frog? Put a frog in a pot of boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in a pot of cool water and slowly heat it up, and that frog will boil. It's alive. But as a metaphor for us and all that we go through as veterans,
real-world experience.
It's a story that rings true. We make excuses for how we feel. We push everything down. We tell ourselves the lie that it's easier to stay in that boiling water, to disconnect. And some days, maybe, it is. But you've never been interested in easy. Reaching out is hard. Do it anyway. You're not alone. You've got this. You are not a frog.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
All right, there's the score, 28-13 at the half. I'm here with Terry Lockett, who is in charge of all the officials and the groupings of officials that you see here on the Game of the Week that we see in all the high school games. Terry, first and foremost, thanks a lot for being here with us and taking a few minutes to talk about it. What's the real problem with having the referees having to referee varsity games on Thursday nights?
Well, the problem is we don't have enough officials. We keep recruiting. We brought in 45 new officials this year, but we lost probably 25 from the previous year, so we didn't gain. And so to play games on Friday nights, we need to have an average of about 225 officials available to work on a Friday night.
Wow. Now, you were telling me earlier that most of the new officials come in they're at the freshman level, and they get their experience there. How many proportion-wise, percentage-wise stay on? And what's the time frame where you really look for somebody to stay on and be good?
Well, if we can keep them for 3 years, they'll stay. After the first year, a lot of them get, disillusioned with the amount of time that's put in by the costs that they have to pay for their uniforms and that, and then just a lot of different reasons. If they're moving out of the area, it's a lot of reasons. But if we can keep them for 3 years, we'll keep them for a long time.
Well, that's outstanding. And one real quick question: how are we following up on head injuries and contacts and things like that? What's the real key thing that we look for as an organization?
Well, we look at making sure the kids are keeping their heads out. They're not leading with their head. They're not using the helmet. They're tackling with their shoulders, and they're not doing the big woohoo hits out there. A lot of times that's a key to where a player is going to get hurt.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking with Terry Lockett, head of the officials here at the Northern California Officials Association. And we're going to send it to a break here, 28-13, Folsom in the lead at halftime. We'll be right back.
Well, there's our halftime score. Things for Folsom fans are thought to be in order here, Imperator, and we got a half to go, however. Stay with us. We're going to come back for more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Even though we didn't grow up together, he's my favorite brother.
Hey, sis.
I'm the baby of the family, and he's the gentle giant.
What you know about Port Georgia?
Man, please, that's a classic.
You know when they say people are a rare breed? Yeah, he's that.
I'm sorry, I'll be back in a few hours.
Don't worry, Shug, you know I'm for you.
I know.
Go get the football.
That was my favorite memory. He was always for you. This is a true story of me, Bridget Floyd, and this guy, George Perry Floyd Jr., my big brother.
At the halftime intermission, we are at Folsom High School, Prairie City Stadium for this CIF Zach Joaquin section semifinal playoff game, and Folsom, falling behind early, has rallied impressively and now has taken a 28-13 lead at the intermission. And we do have statistics compiled by the man, Rob Benson, and the Imperator has them in hand.
Okay, we're ready to go here. Here's the rundown. It's on your screen. Rushing yardage, of course, Folsom 49, 126 for Central Catholic, of which a huge run right off the get-go, a 70-yard plus by their big back. Passing yards, it's 210 to 78. And Mac has been picking apart that Central Catholic defense with plenty of time to throw and wide open receivers. You can't do that against them. Total offense is still not out of hand, 259 to 204. First downs, 13 to 3. Penalties are 30 for Folsom and 15 for Central. No turnovers by either team. and time of possession almost doubled by Folsom. They have been in control, and certainly, really, when you get down to it, time of possession's told a story. Folsom has controlled the ball and given plenty of time to quarterback Mack.
Well, Rick Stewart, I know you have a special guest there that will shed more light upon this situation. What you got? Go ahead, Rick. Okay, that's all right. He has got many guests lined up for interviews this evening in such an important part of the playoffs. Okay, Rick.
Well, he's got to go. His team's ready for the kickoff. But he said when we got down low in the red zone, we got to score because there's nothing else that we have to do. We just have to score the ball when we get down there. He said it's a simple game. I guess it is against Folsom. It's back to you.
Okay, thank you, Rick. Well, I guess it's simple, but I'm always bewildered by it.
Well, it's simple in terms of blocking, tackling, and execution. Those are the three key words. And right now, the execution is by Folsom. Certainly, the blocking also, their pass protection is excellent. And the front three and the front four are really having problems because when you're only rushing 3 or 4 against Folsom, their front five is picking up the blocking, giving Matt plenty of time to throw, and he's picking apart. He's been on streaks of 12, 14 straight completions. Now, he has receivers, we know that. But the question is, can you cover and can you give pressure? And right now, we're not seeing either happening.
No, we're not. But another part of that scenario, they have put pressure on him, but when he leaks out and scrambles, he's made good things happen with first downs.
Absolutely. He's extended plays with his legs. And far more than we have in the past in our experience with Mack. He's shown today that he has some athleticism, he has some running ability, and he's not just a pocket passer. And that's certainly evident tonight. But like I said, the key is pass protection up front, and then lack of pass rush on the part of the Raiders. And, of course, the secondary's got their hands full when you're trying to cover the quality receivers, Ontario Smith, Rico Flores, Norberg, Brian Ray, and company. Brian Ray is really having a coming-out party here tonight. And we talked about that during the week because he hasn't had certainly some of the recognition that Ontario Smith has, or, of course, the All-American Flores.
And early in the ball game, it looked like that would continue. They went to Smith a number of times early on, and Flores as well, before Ray got his first catches. Now here's an update. Rockland stretched out a little bit on Manteca, now 21-13 in the third. And Wood Creek still holding fast on Christian Brothers, 14-7. But a big one here, Del Oro Granite Bay, fourth quarter, halftime, 21-10. Granite Bay still on top. I know you're interested in that one, Coach.
Very definitely. As mentioned, Coach Joe Catalico doing a great job at Granite Bay, his second season there. And we had the opportunity to see him earlier, had a ball game with his team. I also had a chance to see him back real early in the season against Vista High School. Exceptional running game, has a couple of youngsters and primarily a young lineup. And the quarterback is coming into his home. He's getting great blocking up front. And then if you haven't seen him yet and you haven't had a chance and they go one more week, I can tell you this. If you want to see two of the top young players in the area, and Mr. N.A. and, of course, Carter Jackson, a sophomore running back who can run with power, run with speed, and has great moves.
Well, you talked about him for 11 weeks, and he was better than anything you said when I finally got a chance to see him. He's dynamic, tremendous.
he's got 2 more years to play, and I know colleges are looking at him already, and I can understand why. And he runs hard. He's got the speed to go with it. He's got the power. Got some moves as well. And Joe Catolico is doing a good job there at Granite Bay. And as we said many times, don't let that record fool you. They finished somewhere in that 4th or 5th spot. And believe me, they are far better than that, and they're showing it here, particularly the second half of the season.
They are, and I wonder how the younger Catolico's doing in this game. He's probably got 2 or 3 grabs.
Well, I'm sure he's an outstanding receiver, young sophomore, and I hope he gets as big as his dad.
We're underway here in the third quarter. Folsom on top, and a jarring tackle near the 20-yard line. Well, Hernandez has had a rough evening, man. He got dropped hard. Ion Smith snuck around the blocking and unopposed on that tackle. So average field position starting out here in the third for Central Catholic. Blanked in the second quarter after a couple of impressive touchdowns in the first.
Well, Folsom put 14 on in each quarter. It showed a lot of balance and dominated the clock as well as the scoreboard.
Oh, too bad for that one. Jackledge stumbled over his own blocker.
Yes, that was too bad. It looked like a decent hole, and he was bouncing it to the outside. Well, once again, Rackledge, their ace back with 111 yards on 8 carries, of which 70-plus yards were on that first touchdown run. Other than that, they've held him in check pretty good.
Okay, he rolls again to his left. Wentworth has running room right past a couple of tacklers reaching and grabbing, and he makes the 40.
Well, he showed me good running ability. He broke the perimeter there and had turned the corner, showed me some decent speed there, and picking up that yards, moving the chain.
20 yards on that play, pumping some good life into this Raiders offense, and you'll see here he took advantage of that loose coverage.
He ran that bootleg play and got around the end, picking up that yardage, yes, and a couple of extra yards.
Okay, 1st and 10, Raiders. Up the middle, not much, about 3 maybe. So Jack Leach yet to find good running room since that first big play, but he's piling up some yards here and there.
Well, credit that front of Washington, Goulet, Hardiman, and Mixon. They're mixing it up a little bit in there, and certainly you're not seeing those gaping holes that we did early in this football game.
10-40, early third. Folsom on top, 28-13, playing steady throughout that first half. He wants to throw, has a man wide open. Yes, it is. Roberts. Many, many more additional yards after some shoddy tackling effort.
Well, I'll tell you that. Talk about yards after contact. And as you mentioned here, nobody's wrapping him up. The 6'2", 200-pound senior, 37-yard run, of which the last 10 or 15 was on his own breaking tackles. Certainly, you're going to have to wrap up against him or Rackledge, believe me.
Well, he made their tackling effort look awful. Was that part of the reach and grab show?
Yes. Well, he's an excellent receiver out of the backfield, as we know here, and we saw that. He's got hit a couple tonight.
Jackledge on the carry. So they go back to Jackledge, short yardage again, spun around and dropped at about the 16-yard line.
Well, once again, with second and about 7 or 8, will he rely on the run or will he roll again and off that bootleg fake, which he goes? We haven't seen him go right yet. I'm assuming if he boots, he's going to go to his throwing side. And also, we haven't seen any passes across the middle of the field.
Well, they're going to have to score on this drive. It's a concerted effort that started from them being in the hole at the 20. Play fake, looking all the way to the end zone, overthrown.
Now, where's the hands? From here, it appeared like there's some hands on the receiver.
Yes, it did.
Once again, he isolated on one receiver, though. You notice?
He did.
He definitely was going that way.
He looked there from the start. But pretty cool junior QB. Here's another look at that throw to the end zone.
Well, this is 4 down territory.
Overthrown by a wide margin. Okay, Here we are. 3rd down. Toss. And he didn't get all of it, but Jacklish picked up enough to be close.
Chavez on the tackle for the Bulldogs.
8:45. Clock rolling. So it's 4th down, and we'll see. Now this is a huge call coming up.
Joe Chavez with the play there. He and Colin Denny both lead the team in tackles at 70 and all over the field. And coaches and Sam Cole, the defensive coordinator, they don't want to even give up 1 touchdown despite this 2-touchdown lead.
Of course, and that's why the purpose of the timeout there taken by the Raiders. Of course, their staff wants to make absolutely certain that everyone's on the same page here. This is a crucial possession and a crucial down.
Right. Certainly is. This is if they can pick up a score here, put some points on the board here and stay within reach. They don't want to give the ball back to this Bulldog ball club that had a big second quarter.
Now, I would consider down in distance where they are, I would consider this field goal range, but they are not apparently going to show confidence in that.
No, as mentioned, you want to come away with something. You've got to come away with 3 to 7 if you can, and they're going outside
they
to
run
the big
right.
fella.
It's well defended, and he can't make it.
Well, they were going to key Jacklich, certainly, and they did. If you're going to run the football, certainly you want to put it in Jacklich's hands, and the defense knows that. I mean, that's excellent defense.
And that call came after a timeout, a called timeout. Not a lot of imagination. Okay, let's join Rick Stewart. He's got something for us, Rick.
Hey, thanks, guys. I just talked with Rico Flores. He's in for the game. His ankle's twisted that he did earlier is stiffening up on him a little bit, so he's going to be done for the night. No more Rico tonight.
Thank you for that update. Appreciate it, Rick.
Well, they certainly have enough, in all due respect to one of the top receivers in the country. They've got enough weapons, really, with Ontario and, of course, Brian Ray, Carrillo, Norberg. They've got great depth, and I can understand taking a break and trying to keep him healthy for the finals.
You bet. Okay, working on 2nd and long. Maxie Parlor, room along the sideline. Nice little game there.
Once again, the overall team speed of Folsom is showing up. It started to show up in the second quarter. It's showing up here at the start of the second half, and it appears like the two-way players.
Late hit. Number 9 defense. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Well, the Raiders certainly did not need that personal foul on the hit and a major penalty.
Well, that shortens the field for the Bulldogs right now, and certainly they want a few more drives and a few more points on the board.
Mack rolls and flushes and gets more yardage.
Mack keeps himself.
I don't be meaning to be repetitious, but the Raider defense looks tired, quite frankly, and it's become easier for Mack to flush the pocket.
Well, you'll see how easy it was here. He splits those defenders. And you were concerned about the fatigue factor starting a couple of days ago, and it's starting to show. 8:03, still early here in the third, but Folsom in command. He's flushed again and throws incomplete.
Well, it was a good decision. Even if it was an incomplete, get rid of the football. Do not take a sack. Excellent.
He's been playing like a senior.
He certainly is. He certainly is well poised, and Mack, each time we see him, he appears to be getting better.
Well, he's a terrific talent, and what an addition to put on that continuing line of great Folsom quarterbacks. Here he is again, a bullet, complete, first down. Well, if it's not Ray, it's Ontario Smith. Nice hands on that. Reaching above on a laser shot.
Yardage enough for a Bulldog first down.
Gain of 7. Here's another look at the hands. Nice job. That was smoked in there.
Yeah, he gunned that. I like the way he does. He can throw underneath with some velocity, and he can go up over the top to the corners on the fades. Here you see him changing the play.
First and 10. Looked at 3 different receivers, gets flushed, and dropped for a sack.
Mack wrestled down by early.
Well,
as you say, he's up early and stays late.
There you go.
Loss of 3 on the play. Ball spot at the 49-yard line. Second and 13 out coming for the Bulldogs.
That hasn't happened too often tonight, and here we are, second to 13.
Third sack tonight. Heavy pass pressure from the outset. Lots of hurries, but 3 sacks. That was the third.
Well, there he's got carte blanche on top of the screen with about a 9-foot cushion.
Okay, whistles are going to halt this play. Minus 5.
Offense, 5 yards, second down.
5-yard penalty.
It's amazing how quickly things can change with a sack followed by a penalty.
Well, yes, again, we'll take a look at Max taking his time getting a play here. Let's look at the alignment up top of your screen here with their wides. Now they're playing, giving them a press look up top.
Light rush by 3. A bullet fired and a completion.
Once again, Ray having a huge night.
In the sack yardage. 8-yard gain.
A sliding grab. He surrounded that one and made sure of it. Here's another look.
Looks like a 10-yard gain. Brings up 3rd and 8.
Nice job.
Well, he found that window. The window was tight, but Mack found that window nice there, kept the ball between the 2 defenders. Right now, getting good protection.
Gain of 10 on that. 3rd and 8. Big rush. He fires left, low, and unable to scoop it.
No, he threw off his back football that time, and the ball just died. And that's one of the few times it happened.
4th and 8.
Ray having a huge night with 7 catches, 60 yards, probably a career night, and a touchdown, of course. Good target, 6'1", 6'2".
Here's the previous play. As you say, low throw. Incomplete. So punt formation shown by the Bulldogs. High snap. He handles it. Nice punt. trying to get that one to stay in,
Well,
and he does.
What a Folsom bounce down to the 1.
That's about as good as it gets.
Down to the 2-yard line.
Well, Jermaine,
West Central Catholic takes over.
he's got to be happy with that one. See, that's
Well,
a
he
weapon
is.
right there.
And it's given a long field for Central to drive. 99 yards to go.
But it was a stop.
Yes.
So let's see. 43 yards on that punt and roll. Let's see if this offensive unit can start clicking again, especially Jackledge.
Well, they do. It's a long field, but they have got to mix it up, and they've got enough weapons to do it, and they've got the quarterback that can get the ball underneath and down the field, along with 2 good running backs in Roberts and Jacklin.
Okay, lining up in their own end zone on first down. Important play right here. Oh boy, line movement on both sides.
Well, it appeared like they were going to blitz the linebacker.
Good ball. False start. Offense. Half the distance. First down.
Oh, that's going to amount to about 3 inches.
Yeah, half the distance isn't very much.
If I was your boyfriend, I'd never let you go. I could
So
take
they'll
the chances
repeat
when
the
I'm
down.
in the fight. Baby, take a chance, so you'll never ever know. I got money in my hands that I really like to bless.
So Wentworth back onto the field after getting a play at the sideline. Let's see. They try to wedge out for just a little bit of breathing room.
Well, Jacklitz has been held in check. After his initial run of 70-plus yards, his last 12 carries have netted about 41 yards, down to 3.4 per carry. Like I said, following that opening 78-yard touchdown run. So, yeah, certainly the Bulldogs have taken him out of the game, so to speak. And that's a big plus because you've taken down their 2,000-yard gainer and held them to 41 yards since that first run.
Roberts has picked up some slack, but not mattering on the scoreboard. From out of the end zone, a floating pass complete.
Pass complete to Jalen Nichols.
That ball was in the air a long
Slade
time.
Wilson on the coverage with the
It
tackle.
certainly was. Brooklyn Nichols, or
Brings up 3 and 1.
check that, Nichols.
Here's another look. Heavy pressure on him, and he put it on the money. Well, 9 yards on
Number
the
5.
completion.
Yes.
Just 4 minutes to go here in a rapidly played third quarter. Still 28-13 as it was at the half. Folsom leading. 3rd and 1.
There was nothing
I
there.
don't think so.
Nothing. Nothing there.
Greco Carrillo.
Well, I'm a little surprised Wentworth didn't get under center and take a quarterback sneak there.
I think he gave it to Roberts.
Brings up 4th and 1 for the Raiders.
Okay, 4th and 1 after getting stuffed. Another look at this defensive play. And boy,
Nothing there. No. I can tell you right now, that Folsom front has been doing the job. And Lucas Hardiman having a big night. He shed his blocker right now. He was in the backfield.
Okay, they need one here to sustain. If they don't get it, Folsom will be set up. Play fake. He rolls and throws. Incomplete.
Wow. Folsom takes over.
Tough defense there.
Well, apparently they didn't feel they could get a half yard. That was not a full yard. Play surprised me. It did not surprise Folsom.
No, it didn't. A little too elaborate maybe on that play instead of going fundamental. But they got stuffed on 3rd and 1 and then had to go for the 4th.
Well, they had 2 downs to make 1 yard. Okay? You should be able to do it. So now Folsom with a very short field here, willing to cash in on one more.
And this could be a clincher, even though it's still third quarter. He's looking for the end zone. Flushed. Throws to the end zone. Touchdown Bulldogs, as he freed up and found the open receiver who was wide open.
Carrillo wide open. Carrillo wide open. Carrillo plays multiple positions.
12 yards on the connection.
Greco Carrillo, the safety, can play receiver. He's a very versatile football player. And he bought a little time.
Let's take another look.
Yes, he bought a little time. Once again with his legs. Kept his cool.
And he got away from Hernandez in the end zone. Well, 34-13 is going to be tough to come back from on the road.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Wow.
2 unsportsmanlike conducts, both against the Raiders.
Gee whiz, 2 penalties against Central. Both of them unsportsmanlike conduct. Well, this game could be on recall right here.
Yes. We're finding that, again, Central Catholic playing a very, very tough schedule, coming on strong at the end of the season. The only team that defeated Manteca this season during the regular season.
Well, our game referee and his crew keeping things fair and square here in this Division I semifinal. Well, this statement is not becoming for the Raiders. They've been penalized 30 yards with onside penalties really hurting them. So they'll attempt the PAT.
Jermaine out to attempt the extra point.
And Jermaine is steady. Highly reliable. Highest spot.
Extra point is no good.
The mechanics weren't there.
In the third quarter,
here's another look at the touchdown. Wide open. Stay with us. More to come on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
And part of the color and pageantry here in a crowded stadium here at Folsom High School. The cheerleaders have a lot to be happy about, with the scoreboard showing the host Bulldogs on top with a healthy lead. Well, look where they're going to kick the football from. And they're going to try to return it here and do. Bizarre play.
Is brought down by number 40 of the Bulldogs, Landon Sinico. Brought down to the 27-yard line.
Once again, Hernandez limping off the field, having a tough night here, taking a lot of hits. Good athlete. Let's see here.
2:40 left in the third. The Bulldogs have stretched out to a comfortable 34-13 advantage. Wentworth looking, has time, and throws the deep ball off the fingertips and drops.
That was incomplete.
That was a pinpoint strike. tough luck.
Brooklyn Cheek leads in receiver. R.J. Whitten on the coverage.
I think Cheek would probably have to say that he should have caught that ball. It was a beautiful pass. Incomplete, however. Clock stopping at 2:32, late third. And a succession of 3 plays is what has led to this game busting wide open. And let's see if the Raiders can regroup and put something on the board. Draw play, nice effort there, but lots of defenders. Jack Leach.
Jack Leach on the carry.
Good running
Brought
back.
down by Lucas Hardeman of the Bulldogs.
Well, Hardeman is having a huge game on defense. And
1 yard gain on the play brings up 3rd and 9 for the Raiders.
He just ran 30 yards. 30 yards to get 1 yard on this.
yes, he did.
Good back. Tough way to go. 28-19, Rockland over Manteca in the 4th. He wants to pass. He gets flushed out of there. No one open. There's an open receiver. First down, Raiders.
Looked like the big tight end, Savala, who had a nice TD in that first quarter.
And he's slow getting up.
First down. We do have a Raider shaken up. Looks to be number 6, Mario Savala.
Well, Wentworth looked and looked. Nothing doing. Made himself available here. Zavala, not sure what the injury there was there, but 14-14, Wood Creek locked up with Christian Brothers in the 4th. Leg cramp is what it looks like. Third quarter, Granite Bay 21, Del Oro 13.
Well, plenty of time left in that one. They're rivals from that SFL. And as mentioned before, between Del Oro, Rockland, and Granite Bay and Oak Ridge, why they locked horns, and the only one that defeated all 4 of them was certainly Folsom. And that's why Folsom is number 1.
In the 3rd, Capital Christian on top of West Park, 21-14, anybody's game.
West Park, a brand new high school, certainly. We had that.
Get a little bit of assistance as he heads back to the Central Catholic sideline.
Well, Zavala's going to try to walk that one off. Looked like a cramp in the lower leg. 1:34 left in the 3rd. Under center. Straight drop back. He wants to throw. Arches a high lofted pass. Intercepted. That looks like on Jerry-O Smith. No, it's not. Number 7.
That's Smith. That's the other Smith that no one there.
Harrison
Smith, yeah.
So nice work in the secondary there. And is that our first turnover? How about that? Okay, let's take a look at that again. It's not a bad pass.
That's a nice interception there.
You know, Hernandez has been in on so many hard plays. That was another one. He took another hard fall there making that tackle.
Yeah, well, he's not a very big guy, 150, 160 pounds at the most.
Mack looking around, throws deep up the field. Wide open, diving reception. What a grab right there.
Brian Ray.
Reagan. Beautiful concentration. 42 yards on that hookup. Here's another look.
Play time. Put the nose up and let him run. Excellent.
That was excellent. Pretty good coverage by Roland Brown, but the catch was terrific. First down, Bulldogs on the move again at the Raider 40. Looking, throwing deep again. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Well, I have to say that pass was so on the money.
Ontario
Smith.
Wow.
40 yards on the button, and Austin Mack has got the arm and the accuracy. That was wonderful. Here's another look. He saw it all the way. Easy money, and bingo.
That's great concentration there by Ontario Smith.
It was on for the PAT now.
Unsportsmanlike conduct over here.
Wow. Tough luck.
Where did he want it?
Okay, for the PAT, trying to make it 41 on some potent offense here shown by the Bulldogs. Oh, yes. It's a bullseye. 39 seconds left in the third. The Bulldogs stretch out further. Stay with us.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? I'm high. Oh.
Got 39 seconds remaining here in the third quarter that has been dominated by Folsom High School, which twice fell behind in the first quarter as Central Catholic got off to a hot start. But since then, the Bulldog defense has been stingy and the offense has been potent.
It certainly has. Just a long way to go. Other than the 13 points in the first quarter, the Raiders have been held scoreless now going on 2 quarters here as we're coming to a close of the third quarter.
Well, Hernandez has played hard all night and playing injured. Let's see how these last 32 seconds shake out here late in the third. 41-13, Folsom. Short drop, flushed, thrown. He's got great balance.
Pass complete to Jack Litch. Rounds at the 50-yard line. Penalty flag does fly.
Hit hard, but stayed on top. Penalty? Yes.
Face mask. Defense. 5 yards.
Face mask, the call against the Bulldogs, a 5-yard variety.
Okay. Jack Leach with the great balance here.
Very definitely. Look at that.
Tough back. Face mask, so they get the gain plus the penalty. Under center again. Good protection.
Yeah, that ball was close to being intercepted.
It was. He had it and couldn't hold it.
He had a pick earlier today.
Excellent coverage again. That secondary's really tightened up.
It is. He's a tall defender. I like the way he plays that. Having a big year coming into his own.
So that's going to bring up second down and 16 seconds left here. Late third.
Arion Smith in that secondary is nice to have. He's like having a defender under the basket. 6'4", great wingspan.
Draw play, good running room, breaking tackle, look out. Almost.
Jacklish on the draw, brought down by Chavez.
It's a pleasure to watch him run free.
Well, he runs hard, and so does Roberts. Both of them run hard.
Winds down here in the third quarter.
23 yards on that scamper. And the clock will wind down and out here in the third. We have played 3 and Folsom cruising. We'll be right back.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. If you could see you through my eyes instead of your ego. I believe you'd be surprised to see that you've been blind. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Jacklish with the toss. Brought down by number 21, Joey Chavez. Loss of 1 on the play. Brings up second and 11.
Okay, the Raiders trying to get back into the end zone where they haven't been since the first quarter. Okay, just outside the 25. Play fake.
Wide open.
Pass will move to Roberts.
You know, that's a nice rotation of backs they have, I swear.
Well, Roberts, the fullback out of the backfield here, he fakes to him and then hits him in the flat. It's been wide open. And he's picking up 5 or 10 any time he wants it. There's only one time tonight that play was stopped and covered by a linebacker. So it's wide open.
We're just underway here in the fourth quarter. The Raiders have a lot of catching up to do. They're down 41-13 on the road. A blast up the middle.
Big surge that time we haven't seen much of that lately. A big surge by that offensive front.
Well, that surge we saw in the first half when it went another 15 or 20, ending in a penalty out of frustration, is the longest one I've seen that I can ever recall.
Yes.
Where 10 guys were.
At the 7-yard line.
Yes. Absolutely. That was a nice 6-yard run with again, a good 5-yard surge by that front Central Catholic.
The handoff into the end zone. Touchdown Raiders. And Jack Leach. Heck of a back right there. Another touchdown for him.
Yes, it's been a long night for the Raiders, but I'll tell you what, they got 2 good backs in Rackledge as well as Roberts. I'd take either or preferably both of them in my backfield.
Be nice to have both, yes. So they're back on the board here early in the 4th. Trimming that deficit, trying to tack on one more. And they do.
The extra point is good.
Another look at this fine running back.
Your Bulldogs lead 41-20.
Made it look easy. Stay with us. More to come on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Scene 103, take 1.
I thought we'd be on the same page about this, and we're not.
How do I know the way I'm going to respond to it?
I want you to get the vaccine because I want you to be safe.
What if you end up in the hospital? That's what I'm scared of.
If you was to die, man, that would literally kill me, man.
I hug you.
Yeah. If it made you feel that way, bro, I'll probably do. I love you too.
Well, the Never Say Die Central Catholic Raiders strike for an early 4th quarter TD, but you can see the anguish, and you can see this lineup on the kickoff.
Onside kick,
penalty marker.
Bulldogs, penalty flags fly.
Well, Folsom probably turned it down, and you'll get a short field here unless they don't have an option. Believe me, I mean, they have to re-kick. Well, the violation took precedent. They blew it dead right away before they even fielded the ball.
Penalty enforced against the Raiders. They'll re-kick.
There it is, the squib, and it's handled nicely.
Onside kick recovered by Mason Norberg.
So there'll be a midfield. More penalties. Up till now, this has been a pretty clean game.
Well, I think, too, you're going to see some reserves coming in, and with that in mind, it doesn't mean there has to be penalties, but mistakes being made and so forth. Now, I don't like to see the limping around of Norberg, their big tight end, is gimping around, and I look for Coach Doherty. I see they waved it off. Yeah. That's a second waiver, huh? And Coach Doherty, I realized we got plenty of time here, but I would think within a reasonable amount of time he's going to put more reserves into the ball game because he's got to look forward to the final.
Well, check the scoreboard. Christian Brothers eked out a win over Wood Creek 20-14. That score coming late. And if you look at the injury to Flores, Norberg, and at the very start, their tight end,
Lions.
Their receiving core has been kind of beat up.
And that's where their depth has come into play this year. We've talked about it in the pregame. They have depth. They have some quality receivers, but certainly this is not the time to be losing any of your starters because you're going to have a tough match, whoever it may be. It could be a rematch with Oak Ridge.
It's looking that way. He wants to throw, pressured now. And he's going to skip out of bounds after a long run.
Max scrambles, chased out of bounds by number 21, Joe Roberts.
Well, this is a time you don't want to lose your franchise quarterback in Mac. So, a gifted athlete, outstanding passer, outstanding prospect, and one that has certainly had a big night here tonight, extending plays with his legs, etc., pinpoint passing.
He fires left, has a hook up along the sideline. That ball was right on target. And it's another first down. Williams with the catch.
First down.
Move the chains. 9:34 left in this one. The lights dimming on a Central Catholic comeback, but ever so bright for the likelihood of Folsom moving on. And if things ended the way they are right now, their opponent would be
probably Oak Ridge. Yes, the Trojans wanting another shot at the Bulldogs.
Catch and run. Ray.
What a night for Ray. He's almost entering the double digits tonight in the receptions. He's very close, I'm sure.
And he's liable to have
in at 9
yards.
or 10.
Yards on the play results in a Bulldog first down.
He might be right around that 100 mark.
Well, I think he's over 100, but he's got 9 or 10 receptions as well.
He saw where the daylight was. 31 yards, adding to his total. Big rush, but he gets it off.
Ray climbs the ladder.
Leaping catch by Ray.
But an outstanding defensive play out there.
They brought the house.
Yes, they did well. The screen was a perfect call when you bring pressure like that. But I have to say that Joey Alcutt, the young sophomore in the secondary, reacted well. 9 catches, 124 yards by Brian Ray. What a night.
And the touchdown.
And a TD, yes.
8:45. Big opening off the right side. Skip to the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. And the draw, a 10-yard run by Donovan Maxey Parler. A fitting way to tack on another tee. He's in for 2 today. They are rolling.
Well, for the first 3 quarters, they have scored 14 in each quarter. And they seem to be heading that way in the fourth quarter.
And in their previous game, they went 14-14-14.
That's their number.
Against Shelby.
Yeah, they don't mind scoring 2 touchdowns per quarter. That certainly adds up quickly.
Oh, yeah. Spot, boot, on the way. Got it.
Extra point is
at
good.
8:44, fourth quarter. There's the lead, 47-20. We'll be right back. The Bulldogs have been barking and biting and running it up now since they straightened out their defense. And they're in great shape here to move on in the playoffs. Still got a ways to go, and we'll see how prideful the Raiders are. But Hernandez getting shoved down hard. Boy, has he had a rough night.
Well, the Bulldogs have been scoring quickly. Yes. There's Hernandez again. Never say die. Certainly he's taken some hits.
Yes,
ball spotted at the 23-yard line where the Raiders take over.
Well, the Bulldogs' last 4 drives in the second half have been amazing. 4 TDs in each drive under 3 minutes. I mean, that's scoring quickly. They get the ball. They get it downfield. Mack puts the ball in the air. Maxi Parler doing the job on the run game in the red zone when they go to him. But he has moved the ball. Mac has moved the ball around to all his receivers tonight.
Trying to bounce outside, but nowhere to go. They grabbed him high.
Jackledge called it up in the backfield.
Well, he made his presence known in this ball game.
Very definitely. Yep, he's a fine back, and he's going to fill out even more. As you see on your screen here, he's got room to put on a few pounds. He's 6'1", 6'2" already, and he's a big running back.
Yes, he is.
16 carries, 147 yards.
Lofting the ball for him. On the dead run, sideline move. What a catch. What concentration.
Wow.
That was a heck of a throw.
It was, and Jackledge ran up under it.
That was a doozy.
39 yards on the pitch and catch.
39 yards.
First down.
Here's another look at that fine throw and reception. Oh, yeah. And Smith with the tackle. 44 yards on that connection.
Very impressive. The catch, very impressive. Give Smith credit again, the big 6'4" secondary.
Out in the flat, a wide open receiver. Breaking tackles to the flag. Touchdown Raiders.
With the touchdown for Central Catholic, 32 yards.
And that.
Well, that's Brooklyn Cheek. And I'll tell you, he got in there with a 32-yard reception, showed me some speed after and yards after contact.
No question. And a little too much reach and grab again. But a determined run. And a couple quick touchdowns here by the visitors. Salvaging. Boot on the way. Got it.
Good. With 7 minutes left
At
to play.
7:04. Let's take another look at the cheek. 1, 2, 3.
Wow, you better
4,
tackle him.
5. They couldn't do it. We'll be right back for more Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Well, a prideful rally. And we'll see if they onside kick again.
Well, the last onside kick didn't look very well organized, quite frankly. It's, I don't know how many times they've tried it this year, but let's see if this is any better.
Well, flags are going to whistle stops this play, but
Dead ball. Offsides.
oh, man.
Kicking team. 5-yard penalty.
I don't think they practice that onside very much or very often. Anyhow, back to that drive. Some big plays here by Central Catholic. 3 plays, 77 yards, 140, scoring quickly. That's not normally the way they do it, but they have tonight a couple of times. This is a third time. And 2 big plays. The pass play, of course, to Rackledge, and then that catch and run on the far sideline by Cheek.
Nice rally. That is not a team that's going to let down. They're going to play it out to the hilt. Here's another kickoff. A pooch and a fair catch.
Pooch kick fielded by the Bulldogs. Number 11, Colin
So
Gallagher.
7:04 as we
Bulldogs
near
take over first and 10 at the
midway
144
for it.
yard line.
And we'll see if Austin Mack continues to take the field, as well as the other starters.
Well, yes, this is, to me, a very important item. I'm not worried about how big of a score I win by. I'm just trying to keep my top players injury-free.
Got an update here. Manteca pulled it off, coming back to beat Rockland 34-28.
What a ball game.
What a game. And here's one for you. Oak Ridge 24-0, a shot.
Well,
to complete the
that
victory.
goes to show you Turtle Rock comes on the road to Monterey Trail, St. Mary's on the road to Stockton, handles the number 2 seed, and now travels to Oak Ridge, and Oak Ridge shuts them out.
After they scored 51 against St. Mary's, from 51 to 0.
And get shut out. Give credit to the Trojan defense and Coach Casey Taylor and his staff.
Well, Dasman and that group, I know, shine tonight. Okay, let's see. Throw for the end zone. Bumped before he got there, and a flag comes out righteously. Ray again opened deep down the field.
Okay.
A little early on the bump.
Well, Oak Ridge is
they were going to go fifth.
Unofficially getting their chance to play Folsom again, this time at U Stadium for the Division I finals.
How about that?
First down.
Again, 2 SFL teams meeting in the finals.
And another one on the D2 level that is looking pretty good tonight. Granite.
Yes, Granite Bay looking like they're going to get in that finals versus Manteca, is it? Certainly. Manteca's only loss, by the way, this year, their only loss.
Touchdown, Bulldogs. And he was undefended on that. Well, that was a surprise. 24 yards on that scoring connection. And all about Mason Norberg. That was a fast touchdown to answer the Raiders' score.
Yes.
Kick is good.
I don't.
With 6:21 left to play, your Bulldogs lead 55-27.
We're ready. All right, it's time for the Domino Dozen. Number 1, Folsom, as you see here tonight. Certainly deserving. Number 1, and Oak Ridge number 2. We could have number 1 and number 2, my 2 top-rated teams, meeting next week. Del Oro 3, Rockland 4, Granite Bay, the Cinderella team so far. Joe Catolico's team in the playoffs, winning week in, week out. Monterey Trail at 6, Grant 7, up and coming, of course. Christian Brothers with a big victory tonight, moving on to the finals. Elk Grove last week getting defeated and eliminated. Wood Creek losing a tough ball game tonight. Westmark Park still playing, I assume. And Placer at number 12. And so there you have that Domino Dozen, and dominated, as you see, the first 5 teams are all SFLs.
Now, why is that not a surprise? Here's the kickoff and run back.
Kick fielded at the 2-yard line, brought out to the 35-yard line by Trace Hernandez. Raiders take over, 1st and 10.
He has had a rough night. What a competitor.
What a competitor, yes. I could see that from the onset. You were not going to get this young man out of the ball game.
fourth quarter at Del Oro. Granite Bay 21, Del Oro 16. Things tightening up.
Wow, that's a great. They had some great series during the regular season, and here they are at it again.
Just a 5-point game now.
Coach Canepa, long night for him and his Raider ball club, coming up here facing Folsom, one of the top teams in the state.
Hitch pass out to the right flat. About a 6-yard gain, maybe 7.
Well, they certainly have mixed it up more this fourth quarter.
They've mixed it up more, but Folsom put 55 on them.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
.45, clock rolling here, midway fourth. What a performance here at home for the number 1 ranked and top seeded Folsom Bulldogs.
Certainly is, and for the people from Modesto Catholic, certainly they braved the cold night coming up here.
The deep throw, caught beautifully. Hernandez just won't let go.
Arion Smith on the coverage.
Well, once again, don't let that limp fool you. This young man is a courageous young guy and has taken many hits tonight, but he comes back for more.
He sure did come back for more. It was good for 31 yards. You know, this quarterback has put some balls right on target from deep range.
Well, he's a young junior, all 6'5" of them. He put that nose up to the outside, away from the defender. Yes, excellent throw.
Okay, that was the first down. Looking for more for the end zone, deep right corner. Incomplete.
That's a great save there.
Brooklyn Cheek, the intended receiver.
Well,
Cheek on the coverage for the Bulldogs.
Surely wanted a 6 on that, but good coverage, as you say, Coach.
Yes, good coverage by certainly that defender down there. Looked like Brown, D.L. Brown, making a great save.
So that stops the clock here as this ponderous fourth quarter continues to roll. 5:17 left. Raiders trying to score again. They've already had 2 recent touchdowns. Draw play. That hole closes up quick, but he gets the better part of 5.
On the carry.
Jackledge having a huge year, over the 2,000 mark coming in tonight, and probably adding to that with another 150, 160 with time remaining. Just having a super year.
Well, he should be heavily honored in the section and in his conference. I don't know who had a better year. So here we are. 4.5 to go. To the end zone. Receiver knocked down inadvertently.
Yeah. Zavala wants a flag. Zavala wants a flag on that. Whether it was inadvertent or not.
No, he got dropped.
Yes. Zavala had a big one. Folsom, of course, while we got between plays here, Mac having a huge night, 30 out of 38, and the game not over. Over 400 yards of passing.
Oh, that's just tremendous.
High school ball, 6 touchdown passes.
Is that all? No, Mac has really lit it up. In his receiving core, we've raved about them. A lot of great targets. Well, they tried for the screen, but well defended.
Screen pass complete. Loss of yard of the play results in a turnover on downs.
Well, they give up the football.
Yeah. Give credit there. Excellent read out of Lincoln Phelps. Lincoln Phelps saved the day there with a shoestring tackle.
Not easy to do on that guy.
No.
Now, I would like to see where he decides to play ball at the next level.
Well, let's see if we see some changes in that Folsom lineup here with 4 minutes and 21 seconds remaining in this ball game.
And we'll see what the play calling is like. Sideline hookup and a big gainer. Look who that is.
Pass complete to Brian Ray.
Wow. Big time. Ray.
25-yard gain on the play.
Big time. I believe his 10th reception. Big time.
And another 25 yards to his total.
Yeah. Just a big time. What a night. As Coach mentioned, this guy is just coming into his own.
Here's another look.
Here you see that ball put into him on the sideline, tight roping it down the sideline.
Boy, he runs hard when he gets the pill.
Yes, he does. He's got a big wingspan.
To the outside, bob and weave. Oh, my goodness, a hurdle.
On the carry.
What a night for Brian Ray. 11 receptions, 176 yards.
First down.
And touchdown or two.
One touchdown. We can't forget that.
Well,
what a night. He changed to number 80. He was wearing, I believe, number 8 early season, but now they know who number 80 is.
Yes, they do. And anybody scouting this game is going to pay attention to that. And might even forget about Flores for a while. To the end zone. Incomplete.
Ontario Smith, the intended receiver.
The ball was short. And the clock stops at 3:59. From here, a formality, but though they are on the short end of this score, we were able to see a number of excellent things out of this Raider ball club.
Well, they did. They did. Never say die and never give up. Certainly, they had finished strong, had a great season. They played a tough schedule, capped here by Folsom. They played some of the top teams in NorCal and in the state. So,
but will they pull some starters out of there and make certain they're well rested and not injured?
On the carry. Takes up 11 on the play.
Well, certainly the clock is running, and let's see how much time they take to call a play here. Should be no hurry. Maxi Parlor, big hole.
So, into the red zone are the Bulldogs. They fake the give and throw to the touchdown, Bulldogs. And Ontario Smith split the D, and that pass was on the money. How many touchdown passes tonight?
7.
That is a significant amount, but a penalty marker has been dropped. Let's take another look at this.
Just a 3-step drop. Just a slant in, wide open.
The play fake is what got them.
That's right.
The opening there. They bid on that.
On field, on the offense.
Oh, my goodness.
And then we have dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 2, that's his second one. He's ejected.
Oh, my goodness.
That's bad because when you're ejected, you sit out a game. And that means here, unless there's an appeal, he sits out the Oak Ridge game.
2 flags.
Not necessary.
An eligible man downfield.
Not necessary.
Conduct.
There's the flag in the end zone.
Wow. That is really uncalled for, and I'm sure that the coaching staff, etc., is not.
Well, a final score. Granite Bay hangs on to post a 21-16 victory and advance.
Granite Bay advances to the finals versus Manteca. What a matchup that is.
Yeah, that'll be exciting, no doubt.
Well,
Bradshaw Christian on the short end of a 40-14 score, a final at the hands of Somerville.
Ball spotted at the 37-yard line.
Well, that's going to be a significant loss.
well, again, certainly this game is well out of hand.
Abram Woodson on the carry.
So that means, as far as their receiving core, they lost Wade at the start of the year. And their ace going to Notre Dame was pulled early.
Yes.
With a minor injury.
Yeah. And then
an ejection.
by Smith, so he's ineligible next week.
And that's going to leave the Ray Gun holding the bag. And he holds
Ray
it pretty
Gunn
good.
and Norberg.
Yes.
Tight end. But Greco Carrillo can fill in very admirably, certainly.
He can.
Woodson on the carry.
But there's no reason that you want to lose your starters at all. And hopefully Flores is okay. Hopefully that was for precaution purposes, and he's okay. Again, the Bulldogs with considerable amount of depth, as you've seen tonight. Depth at running back and depth at lineman and depth at the wide receiver position.
Nevertheless, it's not good to be losing players down the stretch at this time of the year or any time, but maybe some late subs would be the thing to do. To the end zone, running hard, touchdown Bulldogs, and look who it is, the Ray Gun. Well, he's had the big night you thought he would, Imperator. You could have written that in the paper for the next morning about 6 hours ago.
Yeah, there he is with his. That probably put him over 200 or close to 200 and 2 touchdowns for the night. And I know at least 12 receptions. We can check it out with Rob Bimpson on that one.
A stellar evening for Mr. Ray on the big stage. Oh boy. This game is unraveling a bit.
Offense.
Ball start against the Bulldogs.
Well, it's quite clear that they were able to meet the challenge when the Raiders bopped them for 2 early touchdowns and twice led.
Well, they certainly have. And Tremaine lining up for his PAT. Another chip shot for him.
The extra point is good.
And he hits another bullseye. Let's take another look at this connection to Ray. And he turned it on right here. Get off me.
And Rob Bimpson is checking this out. I want to say it's got to be number 8 TD pass.
I believe it is. And last time I checked, I think I could count that high. Austin Mack has lit it up. Well, the red zone cannot be ignored.
Well, let's look at that red zone. Capital Christian here playing tonight, having a big victory over Castle last week. Really playing West Park tonight. We don't have a result of that game yet. Antelope, Jesuit, Sheldon, Casa Roble getting defeated last week by Capital Christian.
Another penalty.
Kick out of bounds.
7 touchdown passes this evening for Austin Mack. Probably pushes him over 40 for the year, wouldn't it?
Well, he came in with 33, and that pushes him right at 40.
That's a nice
better
tidy
year.
Out of bounds.
Yes.
On the kicking team. We'll take it on the 35-yard line. Yep, thank you.
It's been quite an evening for the top-rated Bulldogs. They got stung early twice. The first one was like a knockout punch in the first round with their best guy going 70 plus right through the middle. But they have rallied beautifully. And in the final 90 seconds here,
Ball down the line of scrimmage.
the new quarterback has been inserted for the Raiders, and rightly so. They've had a spectacular year, and their honors are many.
Yeah, number 9 getting some playing time. Tiago Armstrong, looks like. Or number 7, correction, Salacup, Joseph
Diego
Salacup.
Armstrong on the carry.
Armstrong gets the carry there, almost broke it. We're in the final minute now, final seconds, winding down, lots of reserves on the field, but it's all going to boil down to another Bulldog victory, and their march toward number 1 status is underway.
Well, it certainly is, and we have a D1, a great D1 final coming up next week when Oak Ridge and Folsom meet up again. An opportunity to get another chance at the Bulldogs.
I can see you already showing signs of amazing anticipation for that game.
Yes, very definitely. And I think we both should go.
Well, this one is in the book, all zeros across the board, and it turns out to be a rousing victory for top-ranked Folsom, falling behind early to an excellent Central Catholic Ball Club, and then really, really pouring it on. And there's a shake hands with the leaders of each team and the players from each team that show sportsmanship despite, as far as the Raiders are concerned, finishing their season with a tough loss.
Well, that young man there, number 3 on your screen, he certainly is a courageous young fella who took some hits tonight, but always came back in there for more. Mr. Hernandez.
Oh, yeah. Trace Hernandez typifies a lot of what their character is all about. And I imagine this ball club had to be way too fun to watch week after week with the guys they've got. Well, don't wander off. When we come back from this short break, we'll be into our post-game segment, and that means Rick Stewart will be interviewing players of the game and the winning coach.
There are 16 million children struggling.
Stick around.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
The verdict is in, and the decision is final this evening here at Prairie City Stadium on the campus of Folsom High School, where tonight the top-ranked Bulldogs rallied from an early deficit to post an overwhelming victory against a gallant Central Catholic Ball Club by a final score of 62-27, as they had all guns firing at certain stages. It was most impressive. This semifinal win catapults the Bulldogs into the highly anticipated matchup next week. Jim, you're so funny, because that one somehow figured had to be in the cards inevitably down the road, and it's going to be a war.
Well, it is. We had the first one. We saw a good ball game, particularly the first half, and then we saw a kind of a tired Oak Ridge Ball Club not being able to keep up with the Bulldogs up there at Oak Ridge. Certainly a well-played game by two good football teams, and it's not surprising that they will meet again. And so Casey Taylor's group has a chance to come back at them. They got a big challenge. This Folsom Ball Club is loaded. They've got they're solid in every position. Hopefully they are healthy with Flores, and also I'm sure that once again that they've got the depth. There you see Ray going by your screen. God, what a night he had. A career high, and I'm sure he opened up the eyes of many scouts who haven't, if they haven't been on him before, they'll be on him now.
They're wondering certain things like, where's he been all year, and what's his name? No, he was stellar this evening, and Mac got him the ball just beautifully on all those occasions.
Well, Mac attack, I call it. He just attacked, and you give him time to throw. But he also showed us tonight that he can flush the pocket, he can gain yards, he can extend plays with his legs. And he can rifle it inside hard, and he can go the outside, nose up, and put it down the field.
And he was able to stay composed after that first quarter pass rush that got to him a few times and really left them kind of dazed. Those stops led to 2 touchdowns that put them behind, but he never got flustered.
Well, I also give credit to the O-line of Folsom. I know so often the linemen don't get their due, and when you think about what they had to do to protect him, Starkey, Sorensen, Masterson, Redhead, Ross, great blocking up front, great pass protection.
Well, I think we should join Rick Stewart. He has a couple of guests in his post-game segment. Rick?
Well, looking at the players of the game here for the Raiders, Tyler Jack Litch, he'll be over in a moment, hopefully. Number 12, Austin Mack, and Brian Ray here. Brian, first of all, we saw you earlier in the year, and you've made several strides since then. What's been the key there?
The key is just trusting in God, trusting in my teammates, just trying to do the best I can to contribute to my team.
Yeah, well, roughly 12 catches, couple hundred yards, couple touchdowns. I mean, that's talent, dude.
Thank you. Yeah, I all glory to God. I've been waiting for this opportunity all season. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I got all my teammates back when Rico went down. We knew we had to pick up the slack, so our seniors, it's not going to be their last game. So I'm just so grateful for the opportunity.
Well, you made sure of that. So you got another game next week. You don't know who or where exactly right now, but probably an SFL championship game. How's that going to be there? I mean, an extra pressure?
No, sir. No, sir. This is an expectation for us as a Folsom. We've been building this program for years and years and years, so we expect to continue this legacy.
Outstanding. Well, congratulations on the game tonight, first, Brian. And second of all, best of luck next week going forward. All right. Take care. Austin Mack, first and foremost. The game tonight, 7 touchdown passes, unofficially, because I don't keep score very well. 7 touchdown passes, 4, maybe 4.5, something like that. 30 of 38 last time I saw it, okay? What's the key? We saw you in your first game when you first came over to Folsom this year. What's been the key for you to improve?
I mean, really the only thing that it takes for me is my whole team. I mean, as you probably see, basically everyone on my offense, I have Brian, I got Rico, I got O, I got Norberg, I got Galler. It's really just all them.
It's and you're missing the best tight end you had. Not to put in against Mason, but Walker Lyons is a Stanford commit, and you're out him to begin the season, and you still make up for it.
I mean, I would definitely say Walker going down was definitely a big loss, but I mean, I'd say everyone stepped up.
They did all game long. Year long for you. Game tonight. Going next week, confidence level high?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations. Best year, and good luck next year, too. All right, Coach. First half, you were pretty excited about the game. Second half, just kind of exploded right in your face. They didn't really do a lot in the second half, but you were on your toes.
With a team as talented as them, with as many good players as they have, and they play those guys both ways because they are that good, we had to be patient. We were hoping that our depth would kind of help us in the second half. We thought it did. Took advantage of some opportunities, and these guys that you just talked to, they made some big-time plays.
When you have big-name players going both ways, or any team, how much does that really take out of you late in the game? Because that was one of our difference makers tonight.
I mean, I think it's impossible to play at the same level week in, week out, day in, day out, first half, second half. But that Central Catholic team, they've shown that they can do that. They've done it. 2 right here has done it. 11's done it. 5, 8, 58, 68. They got a ton of really, really good players, and they've been playing full tilt all year.
What was your key to stopping Tyler Jeklich?
That's a Coach Cole question, but we try to get as many hats on that kid as we could. I mean, he's the best player that we've had on the schedule all year, and he's earned every yard of it. I don't know if he's graduating. You graduating? Graduating. We won't see him again next year.
Okay, well, best of luck next week, and best of luck going forward, even further than that, too, Coach.
Appreciate you.
All right, thanks, Coach. All right, Tyler Jeklich, come on in.
Thank you very much.
There you go. There's some. Tyler, I'm going to have you turn around this way. That way everybody sees you. Tremendous night tonight for you personally. If you look at stats and stuff like that, must be a real sore spot the way the season ended like this.
I don't really worry about stats too much. The only reason we're such a great team is just the fact that we work really great together. We have great team chemistry. We execute really well together. I give all my credit to my line. Those are the guys that, they have my back no matter what. They open up the holes for me. Those are my big guys, and I love each and every one of them, and I think that's the only reason I'm successful tonight.
Well, they opened up some holes, but you've got some moves, young man, that, it's not just speed taking off, although obviously the first play you ran, you had that too. You got moves that you can get away from people too.
100%. I definitely worked a lot on that in the off season. It was all lifting and making sure I can stay mobile. I have a great trainer, Bonsu Elite Athletics. If you want to get some mobile movements and go to him for sure, and he'll treat you right.
All right, we had a tremendous game tonight, tremendous season, a couple thousand yards rushing. You don't see that. What was the key for you this season?
I did it for all my brothers. There's one thing about this team, and we don't play for coaches, we don't play for our parents, we don't play for anybody else besides each other. And I think that's a really big thing on this team. And again, it goes back to the line. They open up the holes for me. All I got to do is hit it.
All right. Congratulations on the game tonight and the season you had too. And best of luck in the future.
All right,
got it. All right. Will, we're going to take it back up to you, but first I want to say something to you and as well on the crew. I've had a great time down here on the sidelines. I was in the truck for several years, back on the sidelines where it feels like home, but at the same time, working with the crew here with Access Sacramento on our game of the week has just been a savior, basically, in several ways for me. And I just want to say thanks to everybody from the top on down, from Donna, Gary Martin, Will James, Jim Jamino, the whole crew, Kevin Benyon, everybody, the whole crew needs to be thanked for what we do here and what we do for the people that come out here and work. And I just want to say thanks for all you guys do and all you guys do to make this production wonderful. So that's me signing off. Don't know where we are going to be next week or what we're going to do, but I hope it's good, and I hope everybody has a good, safe Thanksgiving and has a good time with their family. Take care.
Well, thank you, Rick. As long as you're around, it's going to be good. It's going to be better than good, and the feeling is quite mutual. It's always a pleasure to work with you because you're so upbeat, so knowledgeable, and you bring many things into play with your terrific interviews, and I know Coach Domino feels the same way.
Absolutely. Definitely, Rick. Great job on the field. Again, once again, it takes all of us. It takes the whole team to make the first team, and I agree with everything you said about the crew. Very proud to be part of it.
It's been for a long time, Stu, and it kind of just keeps getting better. I still think we have room to show some stats here compiled by Rob Bimson expertly and diligently and professionally and thoroughly. And this 62-27 had a lot of numbers involved, Coach. There they are.
Well, there they are. Your rushing yards certainly in favor of the Raiders, and we expected that coming into this ball game. Passing yards, 455 to 258. Certainly, what a night for quarterback Mack. 32 for 41, 455 yards, 7 TDs. I mean, what more do you want? Ray leading the array with 12 catches, 203 yards, 2 touchdowns, having a career night. First downs, 20-11. Penalties a little high for both teams, 85 and 86. Turnovers, only 1 for the Raiders, 1 pick. Time of possession, pretty close. First half time of possession was definitely in the hands of the Folsom Bulldogs by far, but certainly the Raiders never quit and came on and dominated with that run game and some pinpoint passing by Wentworth there. Very impressive at the end. So all in all, you see the final score here, and give credit to the Raiders never giving up, and Folsom once again going to the finals.
Overwhelming performance by the Bulldogs when they needed it, because Central came in here with a major purpose and started the ball game just that way. In fact, they caught the Bulldogs flat.
They certainly did.
Early.
Yeah.
And so, as Rick alluded to in a certain way, we generally show you a football matchup we want to see, but let's go inside instead. It's time for basketball. So, stay tuned for our first holiday basketball tournament. There are several in contention. We've covered a number of them over the years. You'll have to just take your best guess, but when it becomes final and official, you folks will be the first to know, and it'll be real good. So, I must say, in unison with Rick Stewart's comments and those of the Imperator, it's been a pleasure to work another football season here on Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. And again, thanks to everyone responsible. Donna, Gary, everyone in the base crew, the newcomers who arrived along the way, the Imperator of Analysis, Hall of Famer Jim Domino, Rob Bimson, the best stat guy I've ever worked with, and collectively a team effort. And it felt real good tonight to close the season with a team effort. We thank you so much for joining us. Look for our first basketball telecast, and we'll catch up to you at that time, but be certain to have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. Thanks for watching. I'm Will James. So long, everyone.
broadcast from Access Sacramento, your local nonprofit community media center serving Sacramento County. Major underwriting support this season for Hometown Sports Game of the Week is provided by the Sacramento Metropolitan Television Commission.